because there was the whole
I
scene
guess
of,
it was. So
yeah.
I guess it was 2002 actually. Spider-Man 1 came out on May 3rd, 2002. We should
Oh,
probably,
was it 02?
it's coming up, guys. It's on Friday. Is the anniversary?
Oh, is
hey,
it?
look at that.
Should
Oh,
we
you're
do
right.
something?
Wait, the anniversary of
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man
snap.
1. Yeah.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
I don't know. We might want to.
I'm
We might
just
want to celebrate
saying.
it somehow.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have the stream live now,
Oh shit.
and I'm gonna. Oh, think it should be
Alright.
working properly.
Let me know when I should start recording as well.
Oh yeah, no, go ahead and do that.
Go ahead. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna start streaming myself.
Nice. Man, how many different streams are we gonna have? This is incredible. This is new. It's big.
Anybody want to go on Periscope?
I'm gonna go Instagram live.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Oh,
It's
there you
live.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh god, I'm seeing there's a lot of people doing the picking up.
Whoa, you kind of cut out there.
Whoa, doing the what?
I'm seeing there's people doing like the meme that I made, the picking up the hammer.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Like someone
that was such a good meme.
Oh yeah, quality.
Yeah.
Well done.
took me like 3 hours.
Oh, really?
God.
It's actually pretty good for.
Yeah.
Cause
Honestly, it's impressive.
thank you. Cause I don't use rotoscoping. I hate rotoscoping, so I had to do that with masking. So I had to move like every single inch.
That's wild. Wow.
Okay. Bada bing, bada boom. Boom, you looking for this?
It's a classic.
Okay. So everybody ready? Everybody
Good to go.
in
Yeah.
in a good spot?
Yes.
Okay, so what name do you want to go by on the podcast?
It's Toby, right?
Just Toby.
Do you want to do
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Whatever you want. It's all good either way.
Yeah, cause I mean, I'm gonna tell people to listen to this, so they're gonna be like, "Oh, it's Toby Maguire fan."
Yeah.
I think that's easier.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll do the intro and
Nice.
we'll go around. It'll be me, Connor, Danny, Jake, and then you'll say, and this is, I get if you want to say the Toby or if you want to say the full thing, that's good too. And then I'll say the intro. This is Marvel Talk.
All right.
Okay, we ready, everyone?
Excellent. Yeah. Good to go.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Hello, I'm Shelby,
I'm Connor.
I'm Danny.
I'm Jake.
And I'm Toby Maguire fan 53.
and this is Marvel Talk.
Welcome, folks. Welcome to a very exciting special edition of Marvel Talk. As always exciting and always special. But this one's particularly special and exciting because we have joining us for the first time
Finally.
finally, long time awaited. I know listeners have been requesting this get for a very, very long time. People are like, "Gosh, when are you going to have him on?" His enlightening perspectives. Nobody knows the Raimi films like one man in particular, and that is Tobey Maguire fan 53. Welcome. It is a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you. I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller.
Nice. Well, this is a very auspicious occasion, so I feel like we should probably just open up the show with kind of a sort of an introduction. So I feel like Toby, what brought you into this genre as a whole? What was it? Was it Spider-Man? Was that the origin?
Well, funny enough, it wasn't Spider-Man. It was actually the 2005 Superman movie.
Oh, hey.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Superman Returns.
Superman
Okay.
Return.
Oh,
Yeah, because I remember knowing about superheroes. Like, I watched X-Men, I watched the original Spider-Man, but that's the movie where I was like, oh, wow, like superheroes are pretty cool. So then
Okay.
I think that very year or next year, I want to say, was when it was out, like the very first. So then I watched that one in theaters, and I was like, okay, Marvel's pretty cool. So that's when I got into, reading comic books.
I see. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. So, well, then in that case, so you sort of had a storied kind of like journey into the genre. You didn't necessarily like you didn't like grow up with it. Would you say?
Yeah, well, I kind of watched it like as a kid. Like I remember watching the first Hulk, the Ang Lee Hulk, and just
Oh, yeah.
thinking it was really boring as a kid. Because I think it came out when I was like 4, so my parents just put it on TV and it was like, oh look,
Yeah.
it's Hulk, he'll like it. And I remember being very bored and confused.
Yeah, that wasn't a very kid-friendly film as far as that's concerned. There was a lot of like psychological aspects to it, so I don't blame you for not being able to follow it. Even me as a kid, like I can remember. Well, Shelby, you remember the first time we saw it?
Yeah, I was just thinking back to that. That's was it the Boys and Girls Club? Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The bootleg
and
from
they had
China.
a bootleg. Yeah.
Oh,
That was so weird. Yeah.
Yeah, really, really bizarre. But the only thing I can remember from that movie as well is the scene of Hulk jumping around the
Yeah,
Grand
yeah.
Canyon.
That's like the main thing in my memory as well.
Yeah, it's the one
Oh,
that I
yeah.
remember the most. That's the thing that I remember the most. I don't really remember anything else. I guess the fight when Hulk's like flying around in the clouds fighting his dad.
The scene that
yeah,
I'll always
yeah.
remember is where he catches the rocket from the helicopter and then he bites off the tip of it and spits it back at it.
Yeah.
Ah,
That's quality. That's so good.
man, I forgot about that. Interesting. Yeah, yeah. But so much of the movie is not that. So like you'd think that that sounds pretty action packed, but yeah, so much of the movie is not anything related to that. It's a lot of like
Very
psychological
very
stuff,
slow
you know?
burn type of movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Interesting experiment early in the genre. But yeah, I just that's a funny tangent to get on. But I'm
Mhm.
glad you mentioned the Hulk movie, Toby, because we don't think about it very often. I don't think anybody does at this point.
We shouldn't forget it, because, come on. CGI
Yeah.
Hulk dogs.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
man,
Yeah.
you're right.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
The shoulder flex to break the jaw.
yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was good.
You know, speaking of the Boys and Girls Club, where we where a lot of old memories happened,
Yeah.
Shelby. But they also had the game, the video game adaptation that went along with it, and I remember
PC,
fighting the
right?
Hulk dogs on PC. Yeah. I remember fighting the Hulk dogs and getting like mauled by them constantly. They were incredibly hard enemies. I don't know why.
You know what's
I don't know why that was the
a
case.
truly underrated Marvel video game is the Iron Man video game for,
Yes.
for the movie.
Oh,
Yes,
the Sega one,
yeah.
right?
The PS3 one.
Yeah,
Yeah, where they used the actual model.
Yeah,
of
that
the
one
suit
and the
from
Incredible
film.
Hulk games were-
Dude.
yeah, and
Oof.
Yinsen is in it,
Yeah.
and like for that reason, I'll always love it. Yinsen
Yeah,
is
it's pretty rad.
a very forgotten character, and it's a shame there was. I mean, he shows up in Iron Man 3, so that's nice. But
Yeah.
but I wish like Tony would at some point in his journey have acknowledged him again.
Yeah, I wish
That would've
they
been
had
cool.
done some kind of reference to it in Endgame, but
Well, even just like the, I was going up looking at the quote. Is this the last act of defiance from the great Tony Stark? And like that thought carried totally through to Tony's last moment.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Yeah. That and also just like I always think of this is a very important week for you then. That he says. So
Yeah.
yeah, if there was somebody saying something relevant to that, that would be cool.
Yeah.
But
Huh. Well, at any rate, so okay, Toby. So now we gotta turn we gotta turn our gaze to the thing that has made you such an impact in the community. I think that has just created this meteor, this comet that is your Instagram page. What was it that inspired you to make the page, and why Tobey Maguire? Why Spider-Man memes? What was it?
All right, so it's a very long story, but
Let's do it.
All right, so basically, I don't know if you guys are aware of this other meme page called Salad Snake.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so like in 2017, I want to say, he made like this parody of fan accounts called Donald, and he started by uploading just childish Gambino photos, but really deep fried with really
Okay.
bad captions.
Mhm.
And he made another one called Chris Pratt, and same thing. And he would have them like interact with each other, and I was like, oh, that's pretty funny. And then I saw there was like Chris Evans, Fan 53, Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, and I was like, wow, this is really fun. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a Tobey Maguire account, and I misspelled Tobey Maguire, so there's a Q in my name forever now, and I can't change
That's
that.
interesting. We were just talking about that.
Yeah,
I had never noticed that before. I always thought that was intentional.
Mhm.
That's incredible. I like that.
I just rolled with it. I was like, hey, it's really funny how it's like
Yeah.
McQuire.
Mhm.
So I just kept
Oh
it.
yeah.
So then after that, I actually started growing more and more than the other ones because I started posting more Spider-Man memes instead of just the regular deep fried. I mean, I still do it because it's still really funny, but I started
Yeah.
doing more and more OC. And then I think most recently I was like, okay, I'm gonna do full time, just Spider-Man edits, memes, whatever. So I think that's what made people wanna follow me mostly because the Raimi trilogy is amazing,
Mhm.
and also because the trilogy is like untapped meme potential. And it seems like every meme that comes out nowadays, you can find any scene from the trilogy and just use that.
Yeah, frankly, it's similar to the Star Wars prequels in that there's just so much good stuff going on constantly that I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about that entire like era of blockbuster filmmaking, but yeah, like the early 2000s, just an incredible time for that. And yeah, so I'm glad that you've tapped that great potential because I mean I think everybody here would say that yeah, the Raimi trilogy has been a major impact on their life, their you know like the I mean you know it was definitely a crowning achievement for the genre certainly, but even just I don't know, there's just like this very incredible charming magic to the Raimi series, and yeah, I mean, I think that it's funny to speak this way about you know meme pages and stuff, but I don't know, you speak to an authentic uh, just like enjoyment of the series of the Spider-Man series, and I appreciate it. It's really cool.
Thank you. I guess you could say I'm something of an icon.
Yeah, I would happen to agree. Well, all right. Well, now that we've got the story done, now that we know, let's launch in. Shelby, where should we go from here?
First, let me mention that we've got two people in the chat. So we've got Darian Owens, who's a pal of mine. Squatted him back at C2E2.
Excellent.
And then we've got
Nice.
somebody who I think is just trolling, but it's Jacoby Mugato. And then they're just doing a Beavis and Butthead quote. So yeah,
Nice.
but I'll keep us.
we got
updated.
Grant on the other stream over here.
Oh, do we? Nice.
Excellent.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah, he's also a fan of Salad Snake.
Nice.
Nice.
Mhm.
And Ordinary YouTube channel says hi. So okay, I'll only mention the relevant comments. But
Yeah, if anybody has any questions, post them in the chats and stuff,
Yeah.
and we may be able to answer them. Particularly any questions for Toby as well. That'd be good.
And if you're not aware of Toby, go aware yourself. I've got his Insta up on the stream here, and he's got amazing memes. Great stuff. Genuine guy. So yeah, let's get into it. If we haven't already, if it's not clear, we are talking spoilers here. So be aware of that. If you haven't seen it yet, then you probably should, and don't waste your time listening to us for 3 hours. Go watch the movie. But let's talk about your experience, Toby. So going into the movie, what was your attitude? Were you really hyped? Were you like, I don't know about this, or did you have certain expectations? And then how did that progress to when you came out of the movie?
All right, so first of all, I was really nervous because first time cosplaying, so that was
That's right.
basically
That'll be an integral thing, part of the conversation as well. Yeah, your cosplay experience. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so basically I've been cosplaying I think for a while now. The first time cosplayed was last year for free comic book day. I dressed up as a homemade Spidey suit, and then I was like, hey, I want to dress up for Endgame. So we actually got a helmet for Ant-Man where I work, and I was like, oh, perfect, I could dress up as Ant-Man because he's in this movie, and I can't dress up as Spidey because I don't know if he's in this movie or not. So when I dressed up as Ant-Man, first of all, the suit was very, very tight around the nether regions, so walking around was really hard.
So you would say it kind of rides up.
It kind of rides up in the crotch a bit, yeah. But I remember I had the suit on, and then I was walking like an astronaut holding my helmet to the theater, and then this guy complimented me. He said, hey, nice suit. And my dad was like, put on your helmet, so people can see. I was like, okay, cool. I put it on. I get a little like high fives, like, oh, cool suit. And then 5 minutes into walking to the theater, manager walks up to me.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, we need you to take off the helmet. And I'm like, oh, okay, sorry about that. He's like, yeah, I mean, you can still take pictures, just you can't have it inside the theater. And I'm like, okay, cool. Mm-hmm. So then I got some selfies in there. A little kid came up to me, took a picture with me.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
And when we were going into the theater, another guy comes in, the manager, I think co-manager, I want to say. He's like, hey, just don't go back in time and watch the movie again.
Nice.
And I was like, yes. So then going into the movie, I was really hyped because I just watched Infinity War like that very night. So I was just like, okay, theories aside, I'm just gonna pretend that I never saw any theories or I didn't see any spoilers, which I did, unfortunately, before going in. Going in, I knew about the Hulk gauntlet. I knew about the Iron Man fatality, unfortunately.
That's a bummer.
Man.
Yeah, so I was like, hey, that's only 2 scenes from a 3-hour movie, so I didn't mind it very much.
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot in the movie. But, in the Iron Man thing, I've been saying for a long time that Tony had to die in this movie. And, I wanted it to happen. I felt pretty confident that it would. But it's a whole other thing, to have it confirmed for you. I don't know. There's a different experience there when will they or won't they actually go through with this? Just like with the snap, where it was basically like, yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense for them to do the snap, but I don't know for sure that they are going to do it. And then when they actually go through with it, it's a little shocking just to be like, wow, that's regardless of if they ended up undoing it in Endgame, it was still bold of them to do at all. So that's a shame that you had that spoiled.
Yeah,
well, with Tony's death too, it was one of those things that it seems that it seems like it's inevitable, it has to happen. But then on the other hand, we were just talking on previous episodes of the show before Endgame came out. We were like, man, Homecoming looks like nothing happened. I bet Tony's not gonna die. I bet.
Yeah, I mean, we were getting pretty blackpilled on the whole situation.
Yeah,
but. Yeah, I mean, the thing is though, it does seem like Far From Home, it's still more or less the same. Tony might as well be alive. It doesn't seem to really have a lot of fallout at this point. But I don't know, maybe they'll release a trailer now that actually reflects what happened, and that would be kind of nice.
Yeah, that would be something. They should do that.
But you've got Flash going oh, this Mysterio guy, he's just like Iron Man, and it's like, dude, yeah, I don't know, have some respect. That's kind of a weird.
Yeah, it's
right after Michael Jackson died. I know this was a while ago now, but right after he died, if there was somebody performing, what if someone wouldn't that be really in poor taste to be like, oh, it's just like Michael Jackson? It's yeah, I don't know, man. I thought we were appreciating his legacy right now, not just kind of going, oh, anyone could do this.
Yeah, like Bruno Mars didn't show up in like the white suit and stuff. Like he did do that. He has done that, but that was like 10 years after or something like that. That was a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was time in between, you know.
Yeah.
Also, like Peter Parker's like right there, and you think Peter would have a bigger visible reaction to Flash saying something about Iron Man.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Well, you have to remember that's all the Endgame.
Whoa. Danny, you're cutting out a little bit.
Yeah.
Or a lot of it, rather.
A lot of it.
Ultron's taking over.
Classic.
Have we lost Danny?
Oh.
Hello?
Man.
Oh, hi.
There he is.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know what's going on with Discord. It's just being
It's Discord.
not good. But yeah, like you have to remember the trailer is before Endgame, so they can't show anything.
Yeah.
I'm sure the next trailer that's gonna drop is gonna be way different. It's gonna have Tony's death involved and all that.
I do think that'll probably happen, but I don't think that they I don't think that has anything to do with the movie. I think when they do that in the trailer, it'll just be to service the trailer. And so when they made these other trailers, they didn't actually have to take anything out really because the movie doesn't concern itself with that. It doesn't seem like they really did any effort to be like withholding of spoilers because Spider-Man died and then he's here in a movie. And yeah, I don't know. They didn't really. I know some people thought, "Oh, this is a prequel," but they didn't really do anything to imply that.
Yeah, no.
That would have been rad if they had. Like that would have been.
Yeah, I would have loved that. But we had Feige and Pascal coming out and being like, "Oh, it takes place immediately after Endgame."
Yeah.
And so.
I hear Venom's gonna be in it. Pascal said.
Nice.
Yeah.
Bro, I wish. Like, oh man.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, would have been incredible.
So in the chat, somebody said, "I'm not trying to preach, and I know I'm not your father. Then stop trying to be, or stop pretending to be." So that's wonderful.
Oh man.
And then we got Darian says he went through the same deal as you did when he did went to see Spider-Verse, but the manager was like not chill at all. And then he made the comment that there's like throwaway scenes in Marvel trailers. We commented kind of on that before on another show, but I wanted to say again, I feel like that's really overstated. The amount that they actually will put misleading things in a trailer. I think like they had a recent interview with the Russos saying that, and a lot of people kind of ran with it where they're like, what if, everything, all these scenes might not even be in the trailer. And it's like, well, it's not usually that like entire sequences are not in the movie or something. It's more like something is just digitally altered. And I mean, that was the case with Endgame. There was nothing that was like completely made just for the trailer.
Yeah.
I think that more so applies to something like an Avengers movie, not really to Far From Home. I mean, we know that they took out the date on his passport because it should say 2023, and that would be a spoiler. But otherwise, I don't think they're really modifying too much.
The whole post-credit scene for Captain Marvel's not in the movie.
And?
Yeah,
I mean, but
not that that's super weird because, of course, like Tony in the end of Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's either plays into what some people think where they cut out on some Captain Marvel, but more likely I think that it was just made after the fact, just like how the post-credit scene in Infinity War with Fury was made after the fact. That wasn't originally part of the plan. So the whole pager bit, I think that goes hand in hand with this post-credit scene because it also doesn't fit in the movie. Like that Cap having a beard like never happens in the movie. So it would be weird, I don't know, to have this one thing. Or maybe they just realized like, yeah, this doesn't really fit in the movie, but we can use it for a post-credit sequence. Probably something like that. But I don't I don't know. I wouldn't read too much into that. And it's not like they got rid of the scene altogether. It's just a post-credit sequence. So it's like the what is it? The end of Thor. Which one is it? Where you've got Selvig and Loki at the end?
Yeah, that's Thor 1.
Yeah, it's Thor 1. Yeah.
Yeah, so like that one, that's not in Avengers, but it was shot by Whedon, and
But that's different though.
is it?
Like that with the Tony scene in Incredible Hulk, those are different. Those are like end pieces to those films. Like those, I wouldn't say like, oh, that has problems with future movies, like the Captain Marvel one does. You know?
Wait, so you have a problem with the scene?
I don't have a real problem with it. It's just like the Hulk being in the Wakanda fight in Infinity War, you know, in the trailer. It's just the same thing as that, a misleading thing
I don't
to
think
hype
so.
you up.
Well, what's misleading about it?
Well, I think it's misleading because of the way they did that one scene for Civil War. Was
Which
it
one?
at the end of Winter Soldier?
The end of
Where it's Falcon and Cap have Bucky locked in the.
But that's
end of
that's
Ant-Man.
actually in the movie though.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying though. Is
Yeah, that's the crazy thing, is
That
that's
post
like-
credit scene makes precedent for the Captain Marvel scene at the end of Captain Marvel being an Endgame, and then when it's not an Endgame, it comes off as like, oh, they forgot to put it in, or it got cut at some point.
Yeah, but
Rather
nothing.
than it being a scene that was like the Tony Stark at the end of the Incredible Hulk, which doesn't physically have a place in a future movie. Like, does that make sense?
Well, the difference also though is like that the Captain Marvel scene is canon, and like the Hulk being in Wakanda is not canon because it was never. In the movie.
The Captain Marvel scene can't be canon.
Why?
Because why would she show up on Earth and then go find Tony?
Because that's the setup for how she found Tony. How otherwise does she get to
But
Tony?
then later in the movie, they're like, we don't even know who this girl is, right? So it doesn't make sense to have that scene be canon. It's just like the Hulk running with the Wakandans. It's just the same thing.
I know what you're talking about, though, Shelby. Like I
think it fits
like,
perfectly
as
as just a deleted scene.
Yeah, that's the thing is like it's strange because
I agree. It's weird that it's not in the movie, but I don't think
So-
it contradicts anything in the movie like the Hulk thing.
But remember, we get that emotional, like, quick scene with Carol when she sees that Nick Fury got dusted. You know,
I mean, all she
why
says
would
is,
she get emotional
"Where's
there?
Fury?" I don't know. Is that emotional? Can she do that?
I mean, look, if she shows up, where's Fury? And then they explain, well, Thanos happened. Go find Tony. Okay, and then she comes down and they're explaining it to Tony, and then she just gets sad again, like she just found out for the first time. That doesn't make sense.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I don't see why it has to be canon, Shelby. It could just be like the Incredible Hulk part. Like that's what I'm saying.
But that's not really comparable though,
It's
because
just misleading.
the scene in the Incredible Hulk, that's when they were just Easter
I'm
eggs.
talking about for Infinity War. I'm talking about the Infinity War trailer with Hulk in. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I'm gonna say. Okay. So post credit scenes, I believe, aren't necessary. We can't necessarily take them as canon per se. I'm going to make the argument that they are meant to portray the feel of the next film. They're meant to portray the general mood of the next film, or even like hint at a premise. But they should not be taken as canon entirely.
Which was what they said was the case back in like Phase 1. They said these aren't necessarily canon. Although I believe that changed over time because that's been the case.
Yeah,
I mean for a while.
Well, the weirdest one is the one at the end of Ant-Man because that's literally just the scene from Civil War. Like that is kind of the weirdest one. But even like the Whedon shot end of Thor 1, the post credit scene at the end of Thor 1, like Selvig's not actually possessed by Loki. And like I don't even like I still don't understand like what was trying to be portrayed there. Like
I think that just meant like Loki's on Earth. That's what I got him. That's what I got from that scene.
I guess, but
yeah,
you're right. Reflection was Loki.
Yeah. That's
well, it does foreshadow what happens in Avengers. So
well, it does, and that's what I mean. Is it's not necessarily meant to be. It's almost like
I thought I had always taken that to be like Loki was doing his whispering thing to people, especially to Selvig. Was that was the implication? Was that he was kind of influencing Selvig to do more research on the Tesseract. Which is what triggered the portal opening in Avengers 1 in the first place. But
well, look, we can get past this digression and agree to that it doesn't matter. And frankly, I'm happy that the scene wasn't in the movie because I don't want more of Captain Marvel.
Yeah. No, we don't need it.
But Toby, so give us your thoughts on Endgame. How'd you feel coming out? Where do you feel now? Where do you stand now? I know we've gone through a lot of thoughts and feelings and opinions. So
yeah, frankly, nobody needs to hear from us anymore.
Yeah.
So you have the floor.
All right, so just to start off, when Hawkeye's family got dusted, I was the only one who gasped in the theater. Like, I actually yelled, "Oh shit!" Like the entire theater was quiet, and then I just said, "Oh shit!" and happened, and then the entire Iron Man sequence, and then when Captain Marvel appears for the first time, theater was completely silent. No one was wooing, nothing. And then I was just laughing, like, "Oh my god, they're doing this!" Like,
yeah, that's how I thought too. I was like, "Oh my god, really? This is real?"
And then when she appeared, that entire thing. Okay, when Tony fell asleep for like 2 seconds, I was like, the entire movie's a dream. I'm calling it right now. Because after that, everything went by. Yeah, everything went by so fast. I was like, this is all a dream. Like, this can't be real. Like, Tony going back to Earth, him and Cap being like, "Hey, what's up, Cap?" And then Captain Marvel's there. I was like, no, this feels fake. I'm not buying it.
Yeah, no, I totally feel what you're saying here. Yeah, like just how weird the state of everything is, and like with Thor, and we'll get to that. And it definitely feels like, okay, there's no way that there's any permanence to what's happening here, right? So
yeah. And then when they were like, okay, we're gonna go get Thanos and yada yada yada, I was like, oh, they're gonna fight him already. And then they just like pull up when he's like just making some soup. And then
he's trying to have some breakfast, man.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna like hold him like prisoner or something. Like, okay, tell us where this is, something like that. But no, they just kill him, and then we were just like, wow, is this it? What's gonna happen next? And then 5 years later, and the entire theater's like murmuring to themselves. Like, the guy next to me asked me, like, dude, what's gonna happen? Like, I'm dressed as that man, but I wasn't in the movie, you know.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You know, that is like I said, that's a hot take. The idea that it's all just a dream after Tony like falls asleep and presumably like dies. That's like a fever dream of him.
Like a fever dream to me.
Yeah. that is an interesting
movie.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great sequence though. Until Carol shows up, it's a great scene.
See, you know what's funny? I haven't mentioned this on the show. I mentioned this elsewhere, but I haven't mentioned this on this show. I don't think. But when like Carol appears as like the bright light, bro, it's really stupid. But I was like in my head, I was like Adam Warlock. But I mean, it's not gonna happen.
I thought the same thing, Connor.
Did you? Okay,
yeah. Me too. Thought. I was like, are they really gonna throw Adam Warlock into the movie right here? Is this like the coming back of James Gunn to like the MCU? Is that how they're gonna herald him? Like, that's amazing.
Yeah, I didn't. And you know, every single time she shows up as the ball of light, I kept thinking, even though like I should have known, like, but every single time I couldn't stop thinking, like, oh, it's Adam Warlock, because I wanted it to be true, you know?
Yeah.
I want to live. Cool. Like, I want to live in that timeline.
Well, when we recut the movie, we'll just have to make that, you know, put like a little clip art of Warlock.
Yeah. You know who should play Adam Warlock?
Toby. Oh, actually, I mean,
yeah. Think about it.
Yeah, actually, that.
I don't know. Just saying.
I wouldn't be opposed.
Yeah.
I do have to say though, like Carol in that scene when she lowers the ship, and she's got the armored suit with the armor on the shoulders. That's like the best acting from Brie in the whole movie. Just like that moment. She looks over, she looks concerned, and she's got cool armor. She doesn't look abrasive and upset or anything. And it's just a nice moment. Like, okay, I'm fine with this character. There's nothing wrong here. And then it's like everything after this is like, all right, no. Yeah,
I think you're still heated from Captain Marvel, Shelby.
I'm still
got
what?
Some for me?
I think you're still heated from Captain Marvel.
No, but I said I liked it.
Well, just the one scene, though, right?
Well, yeah. Why else would I like any of the other scenes?
I mean, she was fine in the whole movie. Like,
it was just kind of obnoxious.
Well, just because she wasn't
like,
there.
The whole 5 minutes of her.
Yeah, I mean, like every time
this
she's
is really
there, it's
bad,
just kind of
actually.
like a forced, like, I don't know. She's just there for like some people to be like, yeah, girl power moment. When it's like, I don't know, like Black Widow's here and she's actually a good character. And then she creates some issues in the third act with how overpowered she is, yet how ineffective she is. So it's like,
well, that's just the MCU as a problem.
I don't know. They're not normally this inconsistent.
Well, look, who was I listening to? They said, "Oh, look, here's Thanos with all the Infinity Stones in Infinity War, almost lost to Thor, and now we have him here with no gauntlet fighting the Trinity."
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did
the
Captain
power
America could put some
is
pretty
not
good combos by himself? Like it's, I don't know. It's just a problem that they don't have the good power scaling.
So,
that the
did you guys see
the
though
DCEU can have?
that the Marcus McFeely said that battle originally had like a 3-act structure of its own, and was much longer, and then they were like, oh, we got to cut it down, and it feels cut down. It feels like a sizzle reel almost.
Oh yeah, and it feels like there's a lot of like time space issues, like where people just appear.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, the A-Force moment.
Other people.
It's like, oh, we're all over here now. It's like, oh, okay, I guess.
Well, how'd you get there? It's like last time I saw Nebula, she was on the other side of the battlefield.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
it's a comic book, guys. Let's be real.
Well, there's also the whole moment of like, Thanos doesn't. He seems like pretty done at this point. He's got a lot less patience than older Thanos, and he's like, all right, just send the whole army. Cap's about to go up to him. And then he waits like a good, 5 minutes or so as they do their introductions. And it's like, I don't know.
Sounds like you don't like anime anymore, Shelby.
Yeah, but he could have at least made like a comment about like his like hubris. Like he's so like, go ahead, bring as many as you want. You'll still fall to me. That would have been really anime.
But see, that's Infinity War Thanos, though. This is Guardians of the Galaxy Thanos.
I guess so, huh?
Yeah, this is haven't gotten any stones Thanos.
This is this is more of an ascension than a warrior type of deal.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's the what's his line from Guardians? It's like, "Don't talk back to me, boy."
Yeah,
like,
I will
just
bathe
sitting on
the
his
starways in your blood.
Ronan.
Yeah.
Well, all right. At any rate, I guess Toby, go on with your experience.
Yeah.
All right, so it was a good theater. Like, people were cheering, people were screaming, some were crying at the end. But yeah, like I said, the entire movie feels like a fever dream. Like, it didn't feel like anything was happening. Actually, Professor Hulk, like that entire sequence, like I knew about it because of the leaks, but I didn't know how it would translate to screen. So then when it happened, it was just really bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they had time travel involved, that's when it got even more bizarre because of the whole, Baby Scott sequence.
Yeah,
that didn't feel Avengers. It felt like I was watching, like a Shazam type movie.
Yeah.
Which is, it's still good. It's a good scene because it demonstrates how they don't know how time travel works, which is why they go to Tony afterwards, like, hey, how does this work? So I think it kind of had a purpose, I want to say, even though it was just a quick comedic scene.
Well, and of course it demonstrates how they're going to de-age Steve and recast him.
Yeah. Well, de-age and recast like everybody, yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the time travel shenanigans scene. I just thought it went on like a little too long.
Yeah.
Like most Marvel, like most MCU jokes at this point. I think it overstayed its welcome.
Yeah.
But same with some of the jokes that were going on with Professor Hulk in that restaurant. Like, I was like, this is funny like when it starts.
So long.
And then as soon as he just starts arguing with Ant-Man about taking a picture on the phone, I'm like, get on with it. This is Ghostbusters level of filler.
Well, you know what it is it's SNL material. All the humor.
The whole
SNL
movie
stuff.
is SNL. Is that right?
Well, at least the humor part, like the humor, I think is this because that's been a problem that my mother and I have had with SNL for a long time. Is that like the jokes used to be short, but SNL has like
Oh yeah, that's like the main bit now is like just like
is like forcing a joke for an
yeah.
eternity. Yeah,
It's funnier
we're like, all
because
right,
it
the
doesn't
skit.
stop. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the skit is like 5 minutes long when the joke should have been just like two. Like it
Yeah.
should have just been a 2 minute long vignette. You know. Um.
That being said,
Yeah.
I still have to say that Professor Hulk is a lot more likable than I want to admit.
Oh yeah, no, I think he's super cute.
Yeah, I'm incredibly like by all rights I should dislike Professor Hulk,
Yeah.
but I actually love
Cute,
it.
yeah, he's adorable. He's just a big lovable drunk. Like that's how he talks.
Yeah, like even to the
It
point
sounds
of
like Mark Ruffalo
like
drank like a bottle of NyQuil like before he acted.
I do really like the Ruffalo scene. I don't know what it is about the way that he says the line, but when they're about to go get Thanos initially, I don't know. I really like the way that Ruffalo's portraying the character there, and his delivery and everything. I like him there, but then later on when he's with the Ancient One, and he's like back to normal Ruffalo, and he doesn't even act like Professor Hulk. I really don't like him. I'm like, oh, can we go back to like the Shrek version, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I almost feel like man, I kind of wish we had this the whole time, because up till this point, like Banner has always kind of been like a, I don't know, just kind of like an awkward character. Like he's obviously great in Incredible Hulk, but like he's decent in the Avengers, but he's in it so briefly that you don't really get a lot out of him. That first scene is good, but otherwise, he's just kind of there. And Age
he
of
has
Ultron,
a pretty good scene in Avengers 1 when he's talking with Tony about stuff. I feel like their whole dialogue is pretty solid.
right? But I don't know, it just feels so brief to me. Like his screen time seems so minimal, or his amount of dialogue, and that's how he feels throughout the MCU. Like he's there, but he's not there until Ragnarok, and then he's a totally different
there
character
until you need scientific explanation stuff.
Yeah, and then in Infinity War he's terrible, and it's like you should have just had Professor Hulk, which is what they wanted to do actually initially.
No, you mean Doc Green, not Professor Hulk. There's a difference.
Is that really the difference? I did not know this.
Doc Green, that's what he calls himself in the comics. He is not Banner or he is not Hulk. He is a mix of them, of both their consciousness.
Is that what this is supposed to be?
No, this is just Banner as Hulk in the movie.
Yeah,
that's not the same because Doc Green does a lot of different stuff in the comic that Banner wouldn't do. So, yeah.
So what should we call him?
Just Professor Hulk. I think that's
Isn't
Doc
that what
Green's
I said?
Just well, you said, yeah, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, Marcus and McFeely said initially they wanted to do, like, have him turn into this version of Banner in the Wakanda battle, and instead they were like, oh, that would be too much to happen all at once. And while I agree, I'm like, I really don't like what we got instead. Like him fumbling using the Hulkbuster armor, or him fumbling with this like crazy change. This would have been more interesting.
Yeah, well, so because there was the part of the idea that he was gonna like Hulk out and bust out of the Hulkbuster armor.
Yeah, that's in a lot of toys, and I think that's probably what it was. Is he starts in the Hulkbuster armor and then, makes some sort of agreement with the Hulk where they're able to work in synchronicity, and then busts out.
Which that would have been a really interesting scene to have happen.
So it sounds like it must have been in the movie for a pretty long time before they got rid of it.
Because as it stands, it's kind of an abrupt. It's like a very sudden shift, like like when the film cuts to Professor Hulk in the diner, it doesn't like it's very jarring because you don't know what to expect. And like that being said, listeners of the show know that we were saying like, oh yeah, Professor Hulk, like I wouldn't be surprised and stuff. He's wearing like the Hulk is wearing the weird suit and stuff in the concept art.
Mm-hmm.
That seems to suggest that he's not full on Hulk. He's got some essence of Banner in there. So it definitely felt like I don't know. It felt like there certainly could have been the sequence in Infinity War of Hulk and Banner coming to this agreement and merging their consciousnesses together. Yeah, it's a shame that there's not. That would have been a pretty great scene.
Yeah, or at least like the beginnings of it happening in that battle.
Because they don't
that
even.
Would be good.
There's not even a lead in really.
Because instead we just get this weird thing where Hulk is able to just bring his face out and yell no.
Yeah.
Which I hate that so much. It's just so stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
yeah, very very strange.
Yeah. Go on, Toby. What
All right.
else?
So speaking of big drunk, Fat Thor or Boomer Thor, as I like to call him.
Yes.
Ooh.
Which is you about it last podcast. I remember that it was like a big hot topic, and yeah, like after thinking about it, I also hated that scene. Cause okay, you gotta structure that scene. First of all, Rocket's looking for Thor. They're saying that he's drunk or he's washed up, and then we see him. He's fat, and I'm like, okay, I get that. He's letting himself go, depression, whatever. And then it goes into the comedy aspect of that scene. Which could have been played out like a very serious scene, like, okay, he's very down in the dumps, we have to help him. But not like as a comedy. Like, oh, look, he's fat, he's playing video games, he's playing Fortnite. Oh, look, he's calling out a 12-year-old kid or something. Like, that's the comedy part of it. And I was like, it would have been way better if it would have been like super dark, like kind of like the original Thor, how he was like super dark but not too dark, instead of just plain old Ragnarok comedy.
I mean, and they could have, if they wanted to, you could have Dark Thor, who's he's like depressed, he's very serious, but then like, he hasn't seen his friends in like 5 years or so, right? And maybe like having Rocket show up or Banner, they say something and it kind of gets him to like smirk and make a joke back at them, and he kind of catches himself off guard. Like they could have done something like that, where then he's like, no, I don't want to be like he's doesn't want to let that part out of him. Almost like, and then ultimately, like, we see him come back more so to form, just like Hawkeye did. I mean, Hawkeye's like dead serious, and then once he gets this hope, he sort of changes his tune a little bit, right?
Yeah, Hawkeye kind of has what Thor should have had as a development cycle. But I definitely think that there may have been a version of this movie where Thor was like that, because there's like the line that Valkyrie says like right before they go up to see him is that, oh, he doesn't see anybody. Like he's been up there for years. Like he doesn't talk to anybody. He doesn't come down to us. And then that whole line is completely deflated when they get up there, and then there's Korg.
And he says, "I'm so happy to see you," or something to that effect.
Yeah, or like, "Oh,
is that the cable guy?
Yeah,
yeah. It's like,
so it's like, okay, so I guess he visits the cable guy, or he doesn't talk to anybody. Well, I guess he talks to 12-years in Fortnite.
But he talks. Yeah, it's like
Jim Carrey.
He plays Fortnite and he plays online video games. It's like just a complete deflation of the line that Valkyrie had.
She says he won't see you. He won't see you. He never comes. He never comes in except for.
Well, I feel like she says he won't see anybody. Doesn't he? Doesn't she?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Something to that effect.
He won't see you. He won't see anybody. We hardly see him. Something like that. And yeah, like I am like very much. You know how people are like, release the Snyder cut. I'm like, release the Thor cut. Like I'm so confident that other scenes were shot and then they. Either in reshoots or somewhere along the process, they made this decision, or maybe right up until that point.
Because with all the interviews saying like Chris Hemsworth, he said like he liked what he did in Ragnarok. Right, that was the first time he actually spoke out to do something with Thor as a character. And then in Infinity War, they kind of kept that, and he was worried for Endgame because he's like, I don't want them to take it away. And then the Russo.
You cut out a little bit.
Yep.
So Marcus and
no, you're.
We were all like, oh, actually, we like.
Oh,
you're totally cut out, pal.
Yeah, Danny, we lost it.
But I know what you're.
What did you?
I know what you're saying.
What did you say? What was that name?
Ooh, Shelby.
Yes, sir. No, you're still cutting out.
I knew you.
I'm sorry, you weren't finished. That's a quote from Cap after he kills someone. What you're saying is that Hemsworth came along and was like, I want to keep doing this version, and the Russos were like, oh, that's awesome. We also have a weird version we want to do, and so like they were on the same page. However, the Marcus and McFeely I haven't seen anything that says they were also on that page, because they talked about initially having Thor on a mission of vengeance, and then they were like, oh well, it's too similar to what we did in Infinity War, so we'll change it. And I think most likely is they had a version, Russo's and Hemsworth had a version, and they compromised by having, their version in Infinity War and then having the switch here. Did you all catch that?
Yeah.
What?
Which is a bummer of a compromise, because really it probably should have been the other way around in that case.
And I've seen some people say, because there's an interview where they're like, oh, we had our first version of this movie written during Civil War, and I don't really buy that. I believe that's true to an extent, but I mean that version versus what we got has to be dramatically different. I don't buy that.
When did Spider-Man get announced for Civil War?
Jake knows this.
What year was that?
Oh man,
probably the year before. Probably
Spider-Man got announced for Civil War for this. I want to say it was the same year that Civil War was coming out, because Civil War's development had the script written all the way up until the point where they could have, where I think they left the airport scene shot till the end type of thing, towards if I remember the shooting dates correctly, because they were holding off on the airport scene until they knew whether or not Spider-Man was going to be a and they were about to finish the script when Feige called them and said, hey, we might get Spider-Man. Can we fit him in Civil War? And this was, I guess, before production and all that. So, yeah, I mean, it can't be possible that how drastic it changed. I would believe Civil War would be a good time for them to write Infinity War and Endgame, is what I'm trying to get at. But
well, I'm sure they had.
Yeah,
they probably had drafted
I don't doubt
script.
that they had if they had a draft or not. The point being is that I don't believe that that's reason to believe that Fat Thor was always part of this. And my biggest piece of evidence is that he is not on any merch. Zero merch so far. Not a T-shirt, not a dollar store Ziploc.
Well, it's particularly
nothing.
weird that like in the what is it, Andy Park concept art of an Endgame, he's in his normal Infinity War garb, and then there's all that other concept art of him in the quantum suit.
Exactly,
with
yeah.
Stormbreaker
Where he is normal looking, and he has short hair.
Yeah,
he fits the suit normally. Nothing supports him having always been this character, this version of this character. Whereas, and people keep saying to me, oh well, they wanted to hold back because of spoilers, right? They didn't want to ruin the surprise. And I'm like, that's completely. There's no weight to that, because they have Professor Hulk in everything, and he's an integral part to the plot. Fat Thor doesn't factor into any part of the plot at any point in the movie. He could be removed from the movie, and it would be exactly the same. The only thing he does is provide. He's a plot device for Mjolnir getting there, but if they really wanted to have that be there, they could have done something else. And again, that has nothing to do with the plot. It's just an action moment. So, yeah, I don't think that it's true. They aren't concerned. The toy companies are not concerned with spoilers, right? Like, we know that to be the case.
yeah.
So yeah, until I start seeing toys with Fat Thor, I just can't.
But they're not gonna make a toy with Fat Thor. There's no way. Why would you make it? It doesn't make sense.
Well, I think if Endgame toys are gonna come out that feature Thor, they're probably going to follow that original design, because normally what's been going on with Marvel Legends is they follow the concept art, not necessarily the final art that hits the film. Like the Ant-Man figure that came out for Marvel Legends had a completely open mouth plate, on it for the Ant-Man movie. Similar to the Civil War toy line, like the Iron Man figure was like slightly different to his suit design.
Well, and that's exactly what I'm saying is like toy companies and merch people, they get all of this information, all the concept art stuff way before the movie even gets shot typically. And so as things change after that point, they usually don't get any updates. They just get what they initially got. And so when things change, you might eventually see toys and things like that related to it, but the process of production that they have is so much more in advance that they have to have all that stuff beforehand. So I mean, I don't see anything supporting this.
You know, the other argument, it's something that we haven't brought up. Okay, do you guys remember the Vanity Fair shoot?
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, the one that was post Endgame filming. Where Cap has the blue suit, the stealth suit on. Yep. Other people have weird like pastiches of their costumes and stuff. Point being, Thor has Mjolnir, but the Endgame armor.
Yep. It's all the Endgame armor, all of the merch with him. Because here's the thing, I have an explanation. I have a way that it would have happened if it was always part of the plot. And what it is it would just be him in the armor with sure still having the long hair and having the braided beard and all of that. What it would just be, just like how they have in the TV spot now. They have Fat Thor in the armor, but it's so distorted you can't even tell that he's fat. And if you're gonna do art of him in the armor, you're just gonna make him bulky. Like I don't think they would actually make him like have a big gut in the toy, but he would be like long hair Thor in the armor, and be more bulky. Yeah. But that doesn't exist anywhere. So, and even like a lot of the posters, you've got Thor in the background, lifting up the hammer, looking off to the side, and you're only seeing his face and his arm, and or lifting up Stormbreaker, but he looks like Infinity War Thor. So it's not working for me.
It's a weird conspiracy. Like it's very strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think that there's definitely some recutting going on, especially if you think about if Captain Marvel was supposed to have a bigger role in the film, which it kind of feels like she was.
I don't think so.
With some of the costume changes and stuff. Not like humongously bigger, but like maybe like 10 more minutes of screen time.
I believe some stuff could have gotten cut, but I don't. Yeah. I don't support the theory of people saying that like, oh, they filmed a different ending, one with her and one without, and like they cut out a bunch because of audience reaction. Because if that was the case, like most people do like her. That's the thing. Like really hardcore fans don't like her, but like the general audience is totally fine with her. In fact, a lot of them really like her. Normies like Captain Marvel. So, and Marvel hasn't really shown any indication that they are reactionary like this anyways. So I don't think that they would alter, their final movie, the finale, based off of opinions like that. It does seem like more was cut. Because like, if you're not in the know anyways, you're like, who is this? Like, who's this person?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, is she part of the Avengers now?
There's no real character introduction to her or anything like that.
Yeah.
I think they only say her name once, and it's in the ending sequence. It's not even at the beginning of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Good point. So, somebody said to me that, how could they have done Fat Thor, late in the game because of the amount of CGI they would have to do for that? And it was like, you've got like hundreds of entirely CGI characters and sets in this movie. Like, just like brushing out the edge of his fat suit. I don't think.
Remember Justice League? They didn't have enough time to finish that CG.
That's Justice League. That's DC.
Yeah, that's.
I mean,
that's DC's. Yeah.
This is Marvel. I mean, did you see Iron Man's
this
armor?
This was the big one for Marvel too. Is that this was the one? So.
There's so much CGI, and it all looks really good, too. I mean, most of it does.
And, I mean, they don't even have... That's the other thing, is they don't even necessarily have to make Hemsworth entirely CG or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because there could have been reshoots. That's the other thing, and he would have been available for reshoots. He would have done it. And he didn't have any, really, like, the thing that's the only thing that's weird with Justice League CG and stuff is obviously the mustache thing. But Hemsworth wouldn't have any of those issues. Like he's not gonna like. So they didn't have to like airbrush out anything weird. But all they had to do was throw him in the fat suit.
Yeah, because it was
and
never
CG him in. They didn't have to CG anything out. They just had to CG him in.
Yep. Well, and most of the shots of him are really close up with a limited number of other cast members in it.
Yeah.
And it's always sort of like, oh, this is the, like, multiple people are saying something, cut to Thor alone, or like with one other person having like a goofy reaction. And
yeah, because I mean, who does he share the screen with? The raccoon, who's entirely CG.
Yeah, and not to mention, typically with reshoots, that is where often a lot of comedy is added in, anyways.
Yeah, that's true.
And so it's like, oh, they're adding a scene where Don Cheadle is like, oh, I think he's dead. Or like they add in the audio clip of Frigga saying "eat a salad," which is like clearly just dubbed in, and it's like, I don't know, like this all feels very after the fact or late in the game, and again, it's all non-essential. That's the thing. It's not like them changing something here affected anything else in the movie. Like even Frigga's dialogue could pretty much hold up, just with him being depressed instead of sad. Mm-hmm. Like it's all the same dialogue. All they have to do is say, "Oh, hey, just like wear hobo clothes instead of like I don't know, like a cloak, whatever."
Yeah.
Or like if anything, it's the other version that would have required more work being put into like his outfit, or his look, and this version requires very little effort. So.
I feel like we're going to find out when we see the concept art. I feel like that's going to be...
Yeah, in November when the art book comes out, that's going to be...
It's going to take so long.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, I mean, if we see some like old King Thor stuff, which is always what I've wanted since day one, like if we see anything like that, I'm going to be like, bro, rock solid. Like that was it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Look, if we see concept art of Fat Thor, then I'll close the book on this, but... I think that's the deciding factor.
Even if we do see concept art of it, I mean, I'm sure they have to make concept art before they shoot anything anyway.
Like let's say that if the majority,
it's extensive concept art, then it's like
how much is one way or the other.
Yeah.
They're not making Fat Thor concept art though.
Yeah, I don't think they are. I mean, I don't know how you get like.
There'll be concept art
like
with
Minerding's
the
not
beard
going to do it. Maybe Andy would, because Andy's such a chill guy. But like, I don't know, man. You're not going to find
guy,
any.
Right?
Yeah, he is the Thor guy. But that not to say that Minerding has.
He's done some stuff.
Of, what's funny in Minerding's pieces? I don't think I've noticed in Minerding's pieces of Infinity War Thor. Thor wields Stormbreaker upside down. I don't know why.
Oh, that's right.
But Ryan, I guess, felt like it was more appropriate for him to lead with the hammer and not with the axe. I guess. Just a funny thing I've always noticed.
All right, so Toby, back in the game. We got you, buddy? Oh, no.
Oh, Toby. Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
I see a circle coming, but we don't hear it.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Oh, man, did he mute himself? Yeah, I see the circle.
Yeah, Discord's being a real asshole today.
Ah, man.
Yeah.
Ah, bummer. Okay, let's see. Oh, is he back?
I'm gonna need your recording, Connor, just to let you know.
No worries, no worries. Man, what the heck is going on here? He's definitely talking. I hate this.
Yeah.
This is terrible.
Well, I guess we should talk until he's back.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd and Jeremy Renner are great on that press tour. That stuff was hilarious.
Oh yeah, they're two of my favorite people from the whole thing. So
yeah,
like, they're hilarious. They have such good. Both of them have good stuff in the movie too. I loved everything with Ant-Man and Hawkeye. I think.
Yeah, I mean, Ant-Man's scene with his daughter is great. Great acting from Paul Rudd. Just a great dad moment as well, which I highly appreciate. And he's funny, throughout the movie. He does good stuff. He didn't really get like that much of a moment after that point, but he works very well in the movie. It feels very much like an extension of how he fit into the team in Civil War. So I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I even though I don't like the scene where they mention like a bunch of movies and it goes on way too long, I do like when he says, "So Back to the Future is just a bunch of bullshit."
Yeah.
Yeah, which is funny because the very ending of the movie does a Back to the Future thing, which
Right.
is
Yeah.
terrible.
Well, no, it's more. I mean, technically, yeah, it would be Back to the Future, but like I keep saying, guys, it's just Future Trunks arc. Like,
Yeah.
that's all it is.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Danny, can you give me a quick rundown on the Future Trunks arc? Because I haven't watched it in forever. So
Yeah. So the reason I keep bringing
When are
it
we
up
gonna do a
is
Dragon Ball Z podcast? I don't know, guys.
yeah, DBZ talk. Yeah.
Here we go right now, and this is DBZ talk.
all right.
But yeah, so the thing with Future Trunks is he's gonna go back in time and he's gonna fix everything, but that's not gonna fix his future. That's just gonna create an alternate future, which is the canon for Dragon Ball, right?
Mhm.
That's why the series can
Oh.
continue instead of it being destroyed like the Future Trunks arc. And then once he gets strong enough from there, he destroys the androids in his universe, so that way they could rebuild. Right, so the Future Trunks universe is actually where we're at in Endgame post snap, and so when they time travel and do all that stuff, they create a new branch, which would be the universe where Thanos, where everything just gets even more messed up because of what they're doing. But basically, what Steve does is when he goes back in time, he lives in a branch universe, and the thing with Trunks is his time machine. His time machine is set to his universe's future. So even if they alter it, he can go back. Explain that again in Dragon Ball Super when he goes back in time for the Goku Black arc. It's because it's still set to how it was. He could go back to that universe instead of his universe's past. So that's why when Steve comes back, it's probably him using the Omnitrix to come back to that future instead of that new timeline future stuff.
That makes sense.
That's what I figured, and I'm like, yeah, it is anime, and that's MCU's pretty anime. So
Rip
I just wish
the
they'd
Omnitrix though.
shown- Yeah,
Yeah,
I just wish they had shown it. That's it.
it just got smaller. That was it.
Well,
I
it doesn't
mean,
have the circle or the X anymore. So
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was probably just them, so that way, like when they go into the CG stuff,
Yeah.
like they can actually see where it's placed. Yeah,
that's true. Unfortunately,
Yeah, it's true. It was like a weird bluey green. So like, yeah, that they might have been
it
like,
was
yeah,
it was literally an Omnitrix. So
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I've been rewatching Ben 10 too, so I'm bummed about
So you're very attuned to the
Yeah.
the Omnitrix. Well, okay. Well, you know, so an argument I've been seeing being made is that by Steve replacing the stones in the timeline, he cuts off the branches that of like he basically like nullifies whatever change would have happened to those timelines. Is what I've been seeing.
no, that's incorrect though.
Right,
Well, that's
like-
because
Well-
that's what Banner says, right? But I was thinking about it more, and I'm like, well, even if he does go back, is he gonna tell the other set of people that go back, like, yo, don't touch these stones? Like, I'm bringing them back. Is how it would have to go to fix everything, right?
No, so what it is like, first of all, it's not a big deal if you take the stones. People have misinterpreted what the Ancient One said. The issue is taking the time stone. That's the issue. That's the point she's making. It's not that if you take or change anything from a timeline, it's doomed or something like that.
Well, because she explains that the 6 stones together create the timeline that they know, right? So
She specifically says we would be defenseless against like our worst enemies, right?
yeah,
Which
if you
only,
take out one stone,
It's
she
Dormammu.
does. She,
but that's only
yeah.
concerning the time stone. That doesn't fit. That would have anything to do with like the soul stone or
But she
anything
doesn't
else.
phrase it that it's specifically the
No,
time
look,
stone.
what she meant was, well, if you take our stones, you're creating another universe. What about the branch that you just created? Like, we won't have the stones. That's a problem. You know, that's what she's trying to get to for
Yes.
Banner.
Yes, and so that's the thing that requires Bruce to be like, well, we'd come back, we'd put them back in their place and stuff.
Well, and then how they put them back is like, so as soon as Banner goes off the roof there, Steve walks over and hands her the stone. So like it would just be that simple.
That's how it would be.
Yeah, it's just like
which would mean, you know what that would mean is he would go to Vormir and he would tell Nat and Clint, "Hey, don't do this. I'm back."
Yeah,
and that's it, right? Like
I guess so, right?
But he still has the stone physically with him.
Well, you're talking about
the Soul Stone is a big question.
Well, yeah, he would just chuck it to Red Skull.
Well, that and it's like not only does he have the Soul Stone physically with him, but he also has 3 of the other stone in forms that he would have to replace them into.
Yeah, that is a big problem.
Because the Tesseract would have to be put back into a cube. The Mind Stone would have to be put back into a staff, and then the Ether would have to be re-injected into Jane Foster. And it's like, is Cap really gonna take an injection thing and stab Jane Foster?
That's the thing is when he goes back to Dark World, Rocket's gonna be there, and he's like, "Yo, just put it back in her." Like it'd be that easy.
Oh man,
just put it back in her.
Thank you.
Hey, he's back.
There he is.
Talk about a return. That was it. Well, on that point, let's get back.
All right,
let's
now
get
that we have
back
Toby
to
back, let's
Toby.
talk about the best scene in the whole movie. Okay, when Batman shows up and saves Spider-Man, dude, that was insane.
Oh, bro, yes, that was the best.
Yes, although it was really daring to use Gangster's Paradise in the background of that scene.
Yeah, actually, I mean, in a way, it sort of didn't fit, but in another way, it sort of did. Just really fascinating, you know. Yeah, and I never knew. I never knew that the little portals that Doctor Strange makes are just rings. I never thought about that, but that's what they are, gold rings.
Yeah, they forgot to put the sound
effect. It wasn't Doctor Strange himself. Like, you know, there was this other blue guy who was helping him out. Like,
yeah, something about Gangster's Paradise. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish we would have addressed on the show earlier of how great a casting that Jim Carrey is for Doctor Strange. It's very good.
Yeah, you know, we never really thought about it, but we should have mentioned Jim Carrey.
Ace Ventura, Sorcerer Supreme.
Oh my god!
Is Jim Carrey in the Sonic movie? Is he more like Doctor Strange, or is he more like Tony? Actually, I don't know.
Merchant of Death.
Yeah, I was gonna say he does have a lot of the technology thing going on.
This concept art of Thor that you guys have here in the chat or in the Discord, wow.
Yeah, I love that. I love that piece.
That's what we should have gotten.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say Connor cosplay this first of all.
Yeah.
Reclaim the throne here, and also that like this is where the look was supposed to be for Endgame. I'm gonna say.
Do you remember all the Ragnarok concept art for Thor that were like really good, and we never got it? It's just it sucks.
Well, all right. So now that we have Toby back, though, for serious though, what is your final count for Endgame, or really the MCU as a whole? Like what do you like? What did it live up to expectations? Like let's call it. Let's call it from your perspective.
Well, I think it was a good finale until I started thinking about it, like how you guys said, like the time travel bits, the little plot holes, Captain America's arc. I started thinking about it, and I was like, okay, this is kind of not okay, but I'm gonna look past it because there's more good than bad in this movie. Like it makes up for it with the final act where everyone comes together, and I think that's where it just got me like, okay, this is best MCU movie bar none. But Infinity War is still good because we get to see Thanos as a character and not just as a villain, which is how he's portrayed in Endgame. Because in Endgame he's just like, oh look, it's the bad guy because we need to have a bad guy in this movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of what bothered me, how it was like, oh well, the rest of the movie's just gonna be them like dealing with their inner feelings, inner dramas, like, okay, what do we have to do, you know, whatever it takes. But no, they just have a villain Thanos because we need a villain for the movie. So that was one of my gripes. Wasn't that big, but the more I thought about it, the more it kind of bothered me.
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely sort of it's a process, you know, that you go through. Like certainly when I got out of the movie, like I said, I was more forgiving. Then over time, over the past couple of days, as I think about it, the more problems I have. But now I'm definitely like progressing to the acceptance stage, right? You know, where it's sort of like, you know, I don't know. It just is what it is at this point. And yeah, there is a lot of good, like you said. There's a lot of good, and again,
it's
like
a good experience. And
mhm.
it. I mean, the Thor stuff isn't, and the Cap stuff is something that it has to take at least some amount of examination for you to be bothered by it.
Yeah, it only presents itself upon meditation, really. Like it
Yeah,
doesn't.
if you look at it on face value, then you go, "Oh, that's a cute scene. That's nice.
Yeah,
That's good for him," or something like that. But
yeah,
you think about it for more than a second, or if you have any sort of like standard for your character's consistency, then you go, "Oh, hang on, wait, it's not okay."
yeah.
But yeah, I haven't said this on the show yet, but the way I kind of look at the movie is breaking it down by act. The first act is like a top tier Marvel movie, everything up until time travel. Then the time travel bit is like it's more mid tier. It's mostly jokes. It's fun. It's very fan servicey, but it's not great. There's nothing like especially great about it. It's just kind of like a fun romp, and then the third act is just like completely up and down. You've got some moments where it's like this is top tier stuff, other moments where it's like bottom of the barrel, and it's super weird. But yeah, it makes for like a really strange and uneven movie. Whereas comparing it to Infinity War, I mean, Infinity War is pretty consistent throughout the whole thing. I don't have any moments in Infinity War where I kind of like, I have to be beside myself and be like, this is really bad, or like takes me out of the movie. There's nothing like that.
Hmm.
You know, Infinity War is super cohesive. Like it really
Yeah.
felt like there was a very hard through line they were following with that one. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that uh, they were using Thanos as the protagonist, and they were really like building him up a lot, which gave the movie some really strong focus and just let the other characters in the film just have good moments rather than having to worry about any of their arcs. But in Endgame, you have to finish up Cap and Tony's arcs, and you have to finish up arcs of like probably like 5 or 6 other characters, um, which causes Thanos, the guy who got built up like crazy in the last movie, to be completely sidelined in this new one. I totally thought that new Thanos, like 2014 Thanos, was so boring. Like now that I look back on it, I just think he's just like every other Marvel.
Well, I think it goes back to his story was done in Infinity War. Like his arc was over there. Like he was satisfied. Like in the beginning of this movie, in the first act, like he was like, "I'm done. That's it. It's over," and his character's done. The only reason he's back is because they have to fight somebody at the end, right? Like that's the only thing. It's the one thing I agree with Red Letter's review. They said, yeah, like I would have been better if there was no villain, but if they had to, it should have been somebody else besides Thanos. And I was like, yeah, you have a good point. Yep. But again, to introduce a brand new villain that they have to defeat in this final movie, that's asking a little too much, right? For a
That would have been
audience.
interesting if it was the Living Tribunal showed up to be like, all right, like you guys are officially like first everybody's dead, then everybody's back to life. Like you guys are screwing up with this. Like you're not supposed to have this power. And that would have been interesting for that to be.
And he almost was in Infinity War too. So.
That's what I've heard, right? Yeah. Weird. What a different experience, frankly, like yeah. But that would have been like particularly cosmic and crazy to follow.
Yeah. Just like Adam Warlock as well, same deal.
Yeah. But Toby, so what I'm getting from you is that you thought that it was a mixed bag, right?
Oh yeah, like very, very mixed.
Yeah.
It's like I think of the movie as like a salad, a really delicious salad. Fine salad. But then you got some ranch dressing in there, which is like very delicious. But then like you got croutons. Croutons are good, but you can't have too much croutons. Or else it'll take over the flavor.
Yeah.
So this movie has a bunch of croutons. that take over the flavor. Croutons meaning, like fan service and comedy bits.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
I like that. That's very astute.
Yeah, what is this,
Not
a
bad.
bread bowl? Huh? Sorry, that was...
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, now let's. I feel like now. I don't know. Have we exhausted this topic? What do you think, guys?
I mean, there are other things that are less controversial to discuss about the movie, but is there something that you want to touch on, or you think we should close
since
out?
since we have Toby here, what I'm wondering is, all right, what's your favorite of the Raimi films right now? Tell me.
2.1.
No.
2.1.
2.1. Oh.
Ooh.
Ah, thinking
good.
outside the box. I like that.
That's
Okay.
good.
I've seen it 70 times. I can quote it throughout.
Really?
And I cry each
That's
and every
amazing.
time.
Okay.
Nice.
2.1. I've only ever seen that once. I should probably
Mhm.
revisit that.
Yeah,
I've
only once.
Yeah,
or
I've certainly
twice.
never seen it 70 times.
No, but-
That's awesome.
If you watch it, like if you catch it on any network, like TNT,
Mhm.
FX, there's a chance that you've seen 2.1 because that's the one that gets aired on syndication.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. Oh, maybe
We,
I have.
well,
seen
we've
it more
definitely
often.
seen it on FX a lot. So
Yeah, I feel like I have absolutely seen it on FX.
Yeah, that's 2.1 because I don't know why that one's the one that gets
Huh.
syndicated, but I think because it's the longest one, it has more
Mm.
scenes and it's easier to sneak in commercial breaks, like during
Makes sense.
the train fight scene. Like every time I catch it on FX, there's always commercial breaks like in between the train fight scene because it's like really long,
Mhm.
perfectly cut. It gives the viewer, some time to breathe and be like, okay, cool, let me get some snacks or something.
Yeah, I remember FX being particularly egregious with cutting like in the middle of fight scenes and stuff.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that because I hadn't thought about that in a while, but you're very right. Well, gosh, well, then in that case, what extra scenes or what additions do they have in 2.1?
I think 2.1 complements the movie very well because it has two scenes that we don't see in the original movie. And when I actually caught a not theatrical, televised regular 2 edition, I was like, wow, this is really weird. Well,
Huh.
there's one scene in the beginning where it's the birthday scene, and there's like an extra scene where Harry and Peter are like fighting, like, hey, Spidey killed my father. And he's like, can we stop talking about that? And he's like, sure, whatever, happy birthday. But in 2.1, there's an extra scene where he's like, hey, Peter, I'm sorry. My father loved you a lot. You're like a son to him. And it even shows a picture of Peter with
Oh.
Willem
With
Dafoe.
Norman?
Yeah.
Huh.
So yeah, and then it leads into Mary Jane and Aunt May singing "Happy Birthday" to Peter, which is very like eerie, because like there's no music or anything, so it's just like "Happy Birthday." It's like very creepy.
Yeah.
And then another 2.1 scene, which is really important, was Mary Jane's own scene, where she's for her wedding with her coworker, I want to say, and they're talking about how Mary Jane just wanted to marry, the astronaut Jay Jonah's son,
Yeah.
just so because she would be like, oh, my father never said I would find a man like this, like a fine man who would treat me right. And then that's when she started talking about how, well, her friend was talking about how she should find true love, someone who loves her for her, not for her looks. So that's when she starts thinking more about Peter, which leads into the empty seat argument. Stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Mm. So good.
Ah, okay. Huh. Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've always talked about it for all the years that Marvel Talk has been
Mhm.
in syndication. We've always talked about doing like a big revisit of Spider-Man, the Raimi trilogy, and we still have it. So, gosh dang it, I always feel like we need to because
I
kinda
think
feel like-
2.1 is a great. It
Yeah,
sounds like
I
we
think
ought
so.
to do that.
I was gonna
I'm
say,
bummed
I
there's
feel
not a
like this is
1.1.
now is the time.
I'm bummed there's
Yeah.
not a 3.1.
Oh, 3.1.
Yeah.
Oh man.
with
Oh
the
boy,
Woo.
do I have a movie for you?
Really?
Ooh.
Oh,
Okay, so there is a 3.1. Technically, it's not 3.1. It's called Spider-Man 3: The Editor's Cut. It's
What?
It's so bizarre. It was only on Blu-ray. It came out with the trilogy that was out like in 2017. They re-released it in like a book.
I do remember this.
Then I must have it then.
Yeah, it's they still sell it at Best
Danny,
Buy.
hook us up.
And
we can get it on Amazon Prime Video for $3.
Wow.
Just to watch the editor's cut version. Interesting.
watch.
If it's on Prime Video, that means I can probably just watch it with Prime.
Yeah.
I recommend watching 3 regular edition and then editor's cut because there's like really big differences.
Huh.
Mainly because of the dance sequence. You know, the infamous scene.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I love it.
My favorite
They
scene.
move.
Oh.
They move that scene around.
Oh.
So you know, in
Really?
the original cut, it plays right after he gets Eddie fired, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the dance scene is supposed to be shown as like the as part of his process of like going to his lowest low.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and in the editor's cut, that scene happens right after he blows up James Franco.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah,
Whoa.
there's like a really weird like hard cut because like he throws a grenade, explodes, he walks into camera, and then you just hear dun dun dun, and it just plays out.
Whoa. Weird.
And so, oh wow, okay. I'm trying to remember
Wow.
where does the James Franco fight happen in the theatrical cut?
It happens like way before the Eddie Brock firing thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like like his first act as Black Suit Spider-Man, isn't it?
Yeah, here it's basically like the first action he does.
Yeah.
And then in the original, in 3.1, where the dance scene is supposed to be, there's like a scene of like Jonah Jameson says, "Oh, I haven't printed out a retraction in
20
something
years.
years."
Yeah.
And then it just cuts to Black's scene in the daytime,
Oh, wild. Huh.
which is really weird because the CGI isn't. It's kind of uncanny. The CGI.
Huh.
He looks really rubbery in that suit, which is I think why they cut it.
Yeah.
But yeah. Ooh,
Interesting.
and then there's a very important scene, where Ant-Man, Sandman, he comes back and visits his daughter again as Sandman.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like for some
Okay.
reason, his daughter Penny and her mother, they're like playing in a park or something that's near a construction site for whatever reason. I don't know why. And she's playing in the dirt or sand.
Yeah.
And then, it's like, oh, time to go, Penny. All right. She gathers her things, and there's like a big sandcastle, like perfectly made sandcastle there, like really tall.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And
that makes sense.
she goes up to it, and you just see like a hand just form, like a
Huh.
little handprint.
Yeah.
So she puts her hand on it, and then, she turns back, and she looks back. It's gone. The entire castle's gone.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, that scene was actually pretty
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah. That
important.
sounds like a good scene because the last time Sandman sees his daughter in the theatrical cut is when he's on the run. Before he's turned into before he falls into the weird experiment that they were doing with just
Yeah.
sand.
Yeah.
Because that's what scientists do, right? They just have like these open
Yeah.
air facilities where like crows can get in and stuff. And
Oh, it must be a bird. Just
Yeah,
turn it
yeah,
on.
yeah.
It'll
just
fly
keep
away.
it going. Just go for it.
Just make
it'll
another
get out of it, don't worry.
sandbird.
Oh, man.
Sandbirds are all over the place.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Just toss a
film.
bucket of water on them. They'll melt
Yeah.
away. It's great.
That's all good. I love it. so
I
much.
think we ought to do our retrospective with Toby here.
I think we should.
I-
Yeah,
I-
I
I
agree.
Oh
think
yeah,
so.
that
Heck yeah.
sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Also, I would love to have Toby on
For
if we
Homecoming.
do an Into the Spider-Verse episode.
Oh,
I thought you were going to say the big Homecoming episode we've been teasing.
Oh, well,
I'll do them
I'm
all.
ready for that Homecoming discussion. I'm ready.
Wait,
Oh boy.
not to take away from the editor's cut, but Toby, where do you stand on Homecoming?
that's a good question.
Well, where do I start?
Okay.
I liked it. It was okay.
Or-
Although
yeah.
of the Spider-Man movies, I rank this lower than Spider-Man 3 and lower than Amazing Spider-Man.
What is it above? Is it above
Amazing Spider-Man 2?
Yeah.
Like the only other bad one.
Okay.
Like,
Electricity Never Dies.
That's about where I place it. Also, I place Homecoming right in between Amazing Spider-Man 1 and Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah. So for context, I mean, I think typically or generally, us on Marvel Talk do like Homecoming, but Jake has a very different take, and he's not a fan of it, particularly as a Spider-Man movie, right?
Yes, yeah. If you haven't seen High Top Films YouTube videos,
it's infamous.
Go check out his Homecoming analysis. Like, he basically nails all my thoughts about Homecoming in that video.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like he mentioned that PS4 Spider-Man was a better cinematic Spider-Man than Tom Holland.
Yes,
and I was like, yeah, I can agree with that because like I felt more playing Spider-Man on the PS4 than Homecoming Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man on PS4 got me choked up at the end of the game, man. Like they really went for it. So,
see, I still haven't watched that game yet. So
you gotta find those cutscene compilations, man. It's good stuff.
Yeah, I need to get that game. As I at least, unlike Shelby, I at least have a PS4, so I could actually play it.
That's true.
So yeah,
Shelby's not a real gamer anymore.
On the stream, actually, you can behind me see my PS3. So
yeah,
it's up there.
I was gonna see it's okay. Like, Shelby's just a man out of time, you know. He doesn't understand all this newfangled technology just doesn't fit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Boomer Shelby.
The Boomer Shelby.
Monster, so helpful.
I asked Shelby, like, what would happen if Boomer Thor just whips out a monster instead of a beer in Endgame?
Yeah. I mean, I probably would have liked it a little bit more. I would have had more respect for it.
I said at that point I would have just walked out. Like, no. See, and as much as, like, people calling, like, when I heard you call him Boomer Thor, I was like, man, I really wish I could enjoy this from that angle.
Yeah.
Because I like that meme so much. And, like, Boomer Dante is great. And I don't know if there is, like, a group of people who are like, man, why did you make Dante into this boomer? Like, I hate this. I don't think there is, but, like, I don't know if there's an equivalent to how we feel.
He's not. Dante's not really a boomer, is he? Like, in the actual game.
Dante's just being Dante.
Yeah, no,
he's just Dante the whole time.
He's always Dante.
Excuse me.
Yeah, so it was only just because of the beard.
Yeah, but yeah, like, I don't know. I want to like that aspect, but it's like, but also, like, the amount of Boomer Thor memes I see is much smaller than the amount of the dude memes, and I'm like, man, making jokes about the dude is so incredibly normie. Like, yeah, it's really cringy.
All right, let me send you some then. I have some saved up.
You have some Boomer memes? Okay, good. All right, excellent. That's all we need. That's what we thrive on.
Boomer memes.
With, like, American flags and
well, you know what though? Like now I'm thinking it's a shame that that Boomer, Thor, and Cap never had like just as seen together outside of the battle. You know?
Yeah, they don't really get.
They never interacted in the whole movie, did they?
No.
Well, the one scene where they had interaction was when they were all talking about Scarlet Witch, or not Scarlet Witch. Black Widow had just died.
Yeah, but I don't. Does he even directly speak
dialogue?
I don't think he directly speaks to Steve.
Yeah, such a bummer.
Yeah.
Well, he directly speaks to Tony
and Hawkeye. Yeah.
Yeah, but not. Yeah, Steve doesn't talk in that scene at all.
Well, that's a group scene, like them together in a scene. Yeah, no, we never.
Yeah, we don't get that. We don't get the moment of them arguing over whether or not the hammer's worthy to be in an elevator. Like, you know. Like,
that's right. The only scene we get is when he says, "You get the small one. I want that one."
Yeah.
So.
Wait, the what?
And then I guess
the hammers when they have the opposite weapon.
That's not what he said.
You get the small one.
Yeah.
He said, you give me that or whatever.
Well, he says, you have the small one.
Yeah, he says, no, you get the small
I don't know.
one.
I don't know. You
Yeah.
saw it 3 times, Shelby. You might
Yeah.
be right. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
also
saw it. I've seen it twice.
I have it as
Um,
well. So
Oh yeah.
through entirely
Those time travel
legitimate.
shenanigans.
Through
Man.
time travel, yeah, you went to the
Yeah.
future to get a copy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay, guys.
Just dox
I've seen
yourself?
it 14,605 times. So it's there's only
Yeah,
one
I time
where
travel
there's
in
no
the movie, so I.
there's only
Yeah,
one
yeah.
of these movies where there's no fat Thor. It's not this one.
How many of these didn't suck?
One.
The one with Tobey Maguire.
Yes.
Yeah, the Tobey Maguire one. I don't know. Shelby, people are saying that people. I'm sure people are asking like Shelby, when are you gonna do a con in Cap cosplay with Mjolnir? See now
Oh, yeah.
my third dimensional Sloke take on this is when are you gonna cosplay Black Suit Peter with the hammer?
Yes.
Because I saw a video of it.
man.
You can't tell me if it's not canon.
That's
You
true.
can't-
I can
I
saw a
cosplay from the 53 verse cinematic
Yeah,
universe.
the 53 universe. Yeah,
That's
I mean,
actual
I'm on there.
footage. Yeah.
People can
Real
people
footage.
can go. They can see the video on Tobey
That's
Maguire
true.
fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, go do it.
Maybe I will. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll
Yeah,
be the
let's do
next cosplay.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh boy, man! Every Cap cosplayer is gonna have a Mjolnir now. Like
Yeah.
every single one.
Oh yeah. There already one of my friends who's a photographer was posting stories from his shoot, and the Cap
Yeah.
cosplayer he's with brought a Mjolnir. And I'm
Yeah.
like, of course he did.
Yeah, it's that, and like
Perfect.
I've seen basically every Cap cosplayer I know post a photo of their ass and be like, "Oh, this is spoilers for the movie." You get it? And I'm like,
But see, you can't compare that with Captain Marvel's, or else you'll get yelled at.
right? Yeah.
On the real though, Shelby. On the real. When are you finally going to bring back your Peter Parker cosplay?
Maybe when Toby and I are at a con together.
Oh,
Ooh, okay.
Huh?
Interesting
Although-
throwdown. Toby, when are you going to a con? When are you going to go to a con with us?
I don't know. I hope so.
Sorry, no, I gotta amend what I just said, because what it should be is that Toby goes as Spider-Man, as Peter, and then I'll do James Franco. I'll do Harry.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
You're right. You're right.
and
Right.
Are you gonna walk around with a pie all day and
so good.
just let people
Yeah.
know? Yeah, exactly.
I would actually
I
want to
be-
do Spider-Man 3, like burnt face, insta scar tissue face.
I was gonna
Oh.
say if you
Yeah,
guys
Saboteur,
are the bickering kids, I
Saboteur.
gotta be Harry Osborn, or I gotta be Norm.
Yeah,
You gotta be
actually, you'd be
Norman.
a good Norman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta
And
do normal.
Connor, you got to be Doc Ock.
I do got to be Doc
You gotta be
Ock.
Otto.
There you go.
Yeah.
Otto, shut it off.
Danny, can you be Jameson?
Oh
Can you
god.
be-
That's
Say
interesting.
Jonah?
That's an interesting idea.
Okay, I can I be Topher Grace?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah, that would work. Yeah.
Venom.
Be Venom.
Ah, man.
I think
Yeah,
my
we gotta-
Toby cosplay was the first thing I ever sent you, wasn't it, Toby?
Yeah, it was like you just sent it to me and I was like, oh cool, and I followed you and I looked at the memes and I was like, cool memes.
Yeah.
Which Toby cosplay was it, Shelby? Did you do it? Was it the one from that you did to Venom, or was it?
No, this was.
Was it a photo of you in freshman year?
No, this
Okay.
was also to Venom. I did Venom. I didn't do Toby.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I guess that's right. You did do Venom.
I did like a mixture of doing Topher Grace and Tom
Hardy.
Bane. Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember when I did, like, it was more of a closet cosplay, and I may have been wearing the same sweater that I'm wearing right now. Actually, it was like right after the car gets thrown into the cafe scene, and he's got like a bunch of dirt on his face.
Oh,
You
okay.
remember
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
That's the version that I
Great scene.
did. Just that cosplay of that particular moment.
Yeah.
So Yeah, I don't know. That would be fun. So I just like before this movie came out, Endgame, I was like, man, am I gonna stop doing Cap after this? Because I knew Evans was leaving. It's like I don't know, and part of me was like, well, I see this as an opportunity for me to do other characters that I felt like it wasn't really my place to do before from the MCU. Where it's like, no, that's I'm not gonna do Thor because that's Connor's thing, and and obviously like he does it so well, and even though we'd kind of talked about it more as a joke, but then leading up to Endgame, I was like, man, I actually like want to try to do it well, even if I'm just wearing your armor.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about that throughout with the other characters, and then I was rewatching Iron Man 2 recently when I was like, we got to do an Iron Man 2 cosplay group with all of us, and then. Now it's like, oh, let's do a Raimi series cosplay group. And
Yeah.
I don't know where or when, but like, given the opportunity, this is the sort of thing we need to make happen. So
Yeah,
I
agree. I feel it.
I just want to know when you're bringing your Luffy cosplay back, Shelby.
Could be this year. Could be soon. Who knows?
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know. Well,
bro, you gotta let me know because I'll bring Naruto.
Well, you got to go to Colossal, maybe, huh?
Ah, man.
Spoilers potentially. Yeah.
That's smart. That's smart though. Doing a Luffy cosplay at Colossal Con because all the water. And stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. You go find some pirate cosplayers. I'm sure there's gonna be tons of them.
There you go.
Can pretend, you can pretend you're drowning. Good stuff.
Oh yeah.
Well, so on the subject of cosplay, Toby, are you gonna keep cosplaying? What's your next cos plan if you have any?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, totally. I thought cosplaying was like really fun because I want to get into it, which is why I started like going to the gym and stuff because I want to be fit.
Nice.
There you go.
So my next cosplay is probably gonna be for either Spider-Man or Ant-Man for free comic book day. If my comic book shop's doing something.
Nice. Yeah, that's coming up. That's like right around the corner.
I always try to cosplay for that, but I end up working a lot of the time.
Yeah, hopefully if I don't work, I'm just gonna go as Ant-Man because I kind of want to do Ant-Man a little bit more.
Nice.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Interesting. Well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what else, guys? Is that it? Is that a?
So here at Marvel Talk, the crew is basically like, we're good with the MCU, right? We're really not wanting to be at least as committed as we've been going forward. I kind of left Endgame being like, I really don't want to see another MCU movie. I want to leave it here, and I don't really like, the bits in this movie that are clearly setups for Phase 4. I don't like any of them, and so that's kind of where we're at. But where do you stand? Are you like full force, like let's keep doing this, or are you kind of like, all right, this is clearly like this is something else going into this Phase 4, or where do you stand?
Well, it's funny that you say Phase 4 because just a little hour ago, Amy Pascal left Sony.
Whoa!
What?
Oh,
breaking news.
Yep, I just got notification. She ends a 30-year run with Sony, and she's going to Universal.
The witch is dead.
Whoa!
Oh man!
So
Universal. Oh, that's so
everyone's
weird.
saying
she's gonna do some bad stuff over there.
Yeah.
Hulk universe. Let's go.
What?
All right, I'm ready.
Hulk universe? Is that what you said?
Hulk universe. The Hulk cinematic universe.
Smash, dude. Agents of Smash. I'm so ready.
Bring back the mind. Dude, so many good characters. Whew.
Oh wow! I thought when you said she left that she was retiring, not going to
a
Universal.
different company.
That's so weird.
Yeah, her production, Pascal Pictures or whatever it's called, is moving to Universal, and their first movie is gonna be starring Michael Keaton.
Wow.
Huh.
What did they announce who's gonna take her place at Sony?
Not yet. They're just saying that she left and what this means about the Spider-Man deal, and they're saying that that Disney's currently like working something out with Sony.
They're gonna buy Sony.
Well, we went through this not that long ago, right? Where
man.
we talked about the contract that they made for Spider-Man and how it was a limited number of times where he would like be able to have his own movie through Marvel and then a certain number of cameos, right? Or something to that effect. Like
it's just 6 movies.
Was it 6 total? Is that what it was?
6 total.
And
that
we're
includes
at-
Civil War.
Yeah.
So
We're at
basically,
4.
Spider-Man 3 is going to be the last one, or whatever next movie is going to be in after Far From Home. That's going to be the last one.
Right. So
Spider-Man
Wait,
Homeward
Far From
Bound.
Home's not the last one? Because I thought it included also the Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. Because
Civil War.
Those.
Well, no, it's Civil War, then Homecoming, Infinity War, Endgame, Far From Home. That's only 5 films.
Right.
And then you add one more.
One more.
Yeah, so he has one more after Far From Home.
So now the question is, because before we kind of thought, oh, they're probably going to be able to extend this and maybe make some sort of thing where they are allowed to do a Spider-Man in the Venom series, but not this Spider-Man. And now it's like, well, what do we think, guys? Do we think that like the next head is going to be someone who's like all for this, or are they going to be like, we're taking Spider-Man back, like you're done? That's very interesting.
We'll see what Morbius does. We'll see how good that movie is, right?
It won't be.
Oh, but it'll be. I mean, it'll be a heck of a ride.
Wait, that's still happening? I thought it was a joke.
Oh,
no, they're shooting.
No, that's real.
They're filming right now.
Is Matt Smith the villain, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Who is also going to be in Star Wars Episode 9.
I thought he'd get dropped. Is he still in it?
Did he?
Wait, did you say Will Smith?
No.
No, Matt Smith.
Matt Smith.
Oh,
Doctor Who.
Oh my god.
I wish.
Will Smith.
Yeah,
Oh, please. Will Smith should have been.
I was like, Aladdin's still happening, right? It's,
Yeah, as far as I know, they didn't cancel Aladdin. So.
Oh no, he is confirmed. Okay.
Will Smith.
Matt Smith.
Yeah.
Is he going to be Palpatine's clone? That's what he's going to be.
Oh, I would love that. That would be. Oh,
I'm going to call that. That's going to be my theory right now. So.
Okay, so they just announced who's gonna take her place.
Who?
It's apparently, let's see, someone named Bears. They're just calling him Bears.
Nice.
And apparently this person
they're hiring bears, just literal bears.
person worked on their biggest films actually. I don't know if you guys heard of a little indie film called Trainwreck.
Oh,
starring Amy Schumer as well as
Yes. Okay.
Bridesmaids, Sisters, and Les Miserables. So that person just got hired to be the new tippity top person of Sony.
That's weird.
Wild.
Yeah. Huh.
I'm surprised that it's taken so long to get rid of her, though. I would have thought that after the Sony leak, she would have been gone, but...
Well, I feel like it's the same kind of situation that Lucasfilm is stuck in right now with Kathleen Kennedy, where it's like they may have some bigger stuff going on behind the scenes, and they're like, we'll just wait to get rid of her. We'll put her in like a supervising position. Because like Disney didn't... I feel like Disney didn't get rid of Kathleen Kennedy right off the bat just because they were buying Fox. And then they were like, we're going to spend a lot of money on that, and we want to make sure their shareholders stay up, so we probably shouldn't have any big shifts happening soon. And maybe it was the same way with Sony. Like, now that Endgame's over, maybe they were like, oh, well, now we can drop the lady who was
This
involved
sounds
with
like
it.
this was totally in her court.
That's true.
So,
yeah, it sounds like she left Sony for a better deal with Universal.
Yeah, and this means that there's going to be more ads in Universal movies because one of the reasons why she was hired was because, quote, Amy has had, one of the most prolific careers of anyone in our industry, yada, yada, yada. She has a keen eye for projects that have both critical and commercial appeal. Reminder, she was the one to have, what's his name? Jamie Foxx play EDM music.
Light on every down.
Yep, she was the reason why, and she was the reason why there was a bunch of like Sony products in her movies.
Crazy.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Does Universal have anything going on that we care about?
they're Harry Potter, right?
I said that we care about.
Grindelwald
Some
stuff.
the Super Mario movie.
Oh, that's right.
No,
wait.
bro.
Is there a new Mario movie?
They're making a fully animated feature. I think
Universal
who was
is
it? Blue Sky
Yes.
is it Blue Sky Productions is the
no,
one doing
it's
it?
Illumination.
Or Illumination.
Yeah.
Well, that made the Minions and
Minions.
Secret Life
Yeah, I
of Pets.
remember. Universal has the Jurassic series.
Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah, they do.
nothing that we care about then. That's
Yeah,
that's
Fast and-
already
Yeah.
This
Wait,
sounds
maybe
perfect,
she
actually.
can finally make it come true, guys. Maybe she can bring in the dinosaur-human hybrids for Jurassic Park.
For Fast and Furious, they're gonna do the crossover.
Yes.
Oh god.
No, but Chris Pratt in the Fast and the Furious movies? Come on.
Oh, that would actually be pretty
Yeah.
cool.
And they're racing him, and he's on a raptor.
Well, remember
my
the
gosh,
other
you
thing
know-
that Universal was pushing for that they failed
The
at
the
was their
monster
monster
universe.
movie
Yeah.
universe.
Well,
Yeah.
I was just about to say, Amy Pascal probably saw the gap of where Michael Bay used to be, and she's jumping on that train to get the Transformers.
I can see
Is
that
he
too.
done?
Yeah.
Did he leave altogether?
Yeah, he helped produce Bumblebee, but he's been very adamant that it's like, no, I'm out. Like, I'm done.
Okay,
Yeah, he's like not feeling it.
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Interesting,
I
interesting.
Yeah, good for
Bumblebee
him to
was
leave.
much better for it. So
Maybe he can make some more Pain and Gain movies.
Yeah, well, that's the funny thing is
Yes.
they don't necessarily hate Michael Bay.
No,
I
I
feel like
think
that
he-
was a fashionable thing to.
I think his style's good. I just don't think he did. I just didn't think he cared about Transformers, which is why his movies like got worse and worse with each one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But and well, also the other thing that Universal did was Glass as well.
Oh yeah,
Is there any chance they're trying to keep it going with that?
We never reviewed Glass.
I still
on
need
here.
to
Yeah, we
watch
never
it.
reviewed
I still
Glass.
need to watch it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh,
well,
okay.
the ending is the ending's pretty final. It's
Yeah.
pretty.
No, but there's a line in there that suggests more. Maybe I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's ways they could take it. To
There
other
is a
places.
surprising number of ways they can take that franchise. Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that the people I care about aren't in it. So
Oh, that's not a spoiler.
I mean,
Yeah, they
Endgame.
time traveled, so it's just it's old.
Yeah.
James McAvoy, Patrick Stewart shows up.
Man, I wish. But yeah, okay, yeah. So I'm gonna call it right now. Like Amy Pascal's gonna show up and she's gonna be like, we need to make a Fast and Furious like universe with incorporating Transformers, incorporating Jurassic Park, incorporating monsters. I bet that's what's going on.
That would make $1 billion in its first day. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
well, and it's funny because in the comics, like Transformers just did a big crossover thing like that with like a bunch of different Hasbro properties. So it could
Nice.
be that they're trying to pull Amy into doing that.
Yeah.
They had like
it's always
Transformers,
been
GI
weird
Joe, Mask.
Yeah, it's always been weird
Visionaries.
that they didn't pursue the G.I. Joe series further for a crossover with
Transformers.
Yeah.
I-
Weird.
I still hold true that I think that the best crossover they could do with Transformers is Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
Like that's the one that
Yeah,
makes more sense.
Please do it.
Have you guys
Yeah.
seen the new trailer for the new Fast and Furious movie?
Oh yeah.
How ridiculous
yeah,
it is!
Hobbs and Shaw.
Like,
Yeah.
I think
yeah,
I'm gonna
it
go.
would
I
be
think I'm gonna go
the
watch it,
perfect
man.
fit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Hobbs and
it's
Shaw
gonna be incredible.
is absolutely like the level of ridiculousness that we were promised.
And
Yeah,
I'm
I'm super excited.
many times,
Like,
I believe.
Move over, MCU, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, here comes the Fast and the Furious universe. Like,
Well, I've always said that it's only a matter of time before they go into space and have to fight aliens. And like if they do the Transformers crossover, they're already in it, you know. Or they do the crossover with G.I. Joe, you know, you're already in it. You're already doing it. I mean, is not The Rock's character from G.I. Joe the same character from Hobbs and Shaw? Like, there's really no difference.
Yeah.
So, like, okay, sure. Like, whatever. Yeah, crazy. Oh, and Mark Wahlberg in Fast and Furious. Come on, like he's got to be. Shia LaBeouf.
Gotta show up eventually.
Yeah,
Bring him back.
Yeah.
Got to bring back Shia.
Okay, so
Shia LaBeouf.
hang on. We gotta amend something here. She's not becoming the head of Universal.
She's just joining their team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's not gonna.
She's,
we're not gonna see massive changes at Universal from this, but
But they obviously want her for some reason. I guess the marketing thing.
Yeah,
Probably for her producer skills.
Right.
She is one of the most prolific producers in Hollywood.
Yeah.
She has gotten a lot of movies made. So I'm assuming that that's probably what they're going for.
Yeah. Makes sense. Well, that's interesting news. What does that mean for the Venom series? I don't know.
Venom
Oh,
2.
man.
We'll see Morbius. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah, we'll see. It is kind of all hanging on Morbius. We'll find out because I feel like they could very easily.
Will it
just,
have
like,
a cameo
ditch it.
though from Eddie Brock?
Oh God,
That's what it needs. Please.
That's what it needs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible. Oh, yeah, we'll find out.
Well,
Actually, Toby, what did you like Venom? What was your thoughts on Venom?
Oh yeah, this is a good one to ask about.
Yeah.
I really liked it. I liked it more than I thought I was gonna. Mainly because it was really dumb, but like dumb fun.
Yes.
You know, like I didn't think much of it. I was like, okay, the only Venom in my mind is either the Spider-Man 3 Venom or the Venom from the TV show Spectacular Spider-Man. Those were the only two Venoms I had. And this one seemed like a mix between both.
Yeah.
In like the best possible way. Because like he was still kind of buff, but he was still really goofy, and he that lobster scene was really funny.
Oh my gosh, that felt like it was right out of Batman Begins.
It felt like
it made me think of like when Bruce hops into like the fish tank.
Yeah, with the Russian models. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
I bet they were Ukrainian, and all the Ukrainians are going to be really offended I said that.
Oh no.
I think you're actually right about that. But yeah.
But at any rate, Venom, yeah.
So good. Such a fun, like lighthearted, unattached romp, which is really what we need, I guess, at this point, right? Like
that was like the best time I've had in a theater in a long time. I gotta say, it was
Venom.
Yeah. And not to mention our episode, right? Like we had such a blast doing that.
Yeah, that was a great episode.
Yeah. If we get back to content like that for Marvel Talk, like we could keep this thing going. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Especially the little pizza time moment in the middle.
I'm so glad you enjoyed that.
The rest of the episode.
Oh my gosh, that was great.
Kind of feel like we made that just for you, frankly.
Yeah, because I was listening, and then you guys were talking about pizza, and I was like, is he gonna do it? And then he plays the sound clip of Pizza Time, and I was like, oh my god.
Shelby doing Pizza Time was like Cap wielding Mjolnir. It was like, is he gonna do it or isn't he?
Yeah.
What's funny about it is that you guys filmed that when I think it was like a holiday or something, so no one was open.
Right.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, what holiday was that? What?
It was something, yeah.
Why did we do it on a holiday? Was it Veterans Day?
I think it was Veterans Day.
I think it was.
Because it was in November, so it must have been,
Yeah.
Wild.
Man, I love pizza, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was, good
Oh,
stuff.
boy, yeah.
I was waiting for you to say it. Oh, man. I love when you say that, by the way. Like we'll be messaging, and I'll ask him something, and then he'll respond with, oh, boy, yeah. And I'm like, yes. Yes. So good.
The only way I respond.
It is.
I respond with nothing but Spider-Man quotes, and it's just who I am because
God.
it's in my DNA, dude.
Yeah.
It's my symbiote. It's my symbiote.
Well, should we bring this one in for a landing? This has been a long one, but a very fun, satisfying.
Oh
one.
Yeah. I think I gotta say that like the last two, I feel like we were getting out a lot of negative emotions, but I feel like we were able to pull it around this way and have a good time this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we're absolutely like transitioning into the next phase of our dialogue on the subject and stuff. I feel like we're getting to the point where we're beginning to just look at the MCU as a whole now, as a finished product and stuff, and you know we got some good, some bad. It is what it is. this is the history of it, and yeah, I think it'll be good to put a positive spin going forward and be a little more reflective as well. Again, like we got to do the Spider-Man retrospective here. I think that'll be important. So
yeah, I really, there's still two big discussions that we gotta hit. We gotta obviously the Homecoming one, but then Civil War.
Yeah, one of the best movies.
Guardians 2.
Civil War is one of the best movies in the MCU.
Ooh.
DMC 5. We gotta talk about
Shelby. We gotta talk.
We do actually have a lot of movies we need to review that we haven't because somebody didn't watch any of them.
Aquaman.
Huh? Things happen.
Sorry. Just Connor, I want you to think about the fact that you spent time watching Fat Thor in a theater, but you didn't spend time watching Shazam.
I guess that's
true.
But
he did watch Shazam.
But I did see Shazam.
Did you?
I have seen it.
Oh, when did that happen?
I seen Shazam. Yeah. I saw Shazam.
Okay, well, you didn't see Alita, okay? You didn't see Alita.
Yeah, okay.
It's
Alita.
Or Spider-Verse, or Glass.
Okay, that's fine.
Yep. Or
you didn't see Glass.
Me?
Did you end up seeing Aquaman?
I saw it immediately. Yeah.
Okay, I saw Aquaman.
Okay.
Yeah, but he hated Aquaman.
Did you see it a second time?
Yeah, that's what
I still haven't seen it the second time. Yeah, so it doesn't count. It doesn't count. Me seeing it doesn't count because I didn't like the movie, so I have to see it the other time for it to count.
Well, it only counts that you saw the movie if you've watched it enough times until you like it.
Gotcha. Okay.
I saw Endgame 3 times. All right.
Okay.
Now I like the movie.
You saw Endgame 2? What?
Now I'm always smiling. That was what I thought.
The Joker.
Yeah.
I wish I was more excited about that. I don't know.
I forgot that was a thing until you mentioned it.
Yeah, like it's totally like I keep seeing posters when I go see Endgame, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is a thing, and
coming real close, guys.
I like that it's a nice quiet movie, and I'm excited about it. It's gonna be. I think it'll be a good time. I think it'll be fun.
Oh, I'm just excited for the memes.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's gonna be great.
Yeah, the memes are where it's at.
Yeah.
Yeah. When does that come out?
October.
Is it October? Okay.
August?
Man. Yep.
Is it October? I thought it was August.
It is October 4th.
Yeah.
God, it's taking so long. I can't believe it. I can't believe it, bro. Even in the description on Google, when you Google the movie, it says disregarded by society. Fleck begins a slow descent into madness. Come on, like they're not even hiding it. Yeah. Like do they even know? Do they even know about this? Probably not. I'm hoping that they don't know, because otherwise it would seem kind of forced if they did know.
I think most likely it'll be a forced reference.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it'll be something very under the radar.
All right, well, let's close up the episode now.
Yeah.
It's been a good time. Been a fun time.
It has.
Feels like it feels really refreshing, this episode. I like it.
Yeah.
A lot less of me just yelling, which is nice. I did a lot of that in the last 2 episodes.
You had some stuff to get out, man.
I did, yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Just kind of slipped. Connor, do you remember when we thought that line was in reference to him throwing the motorcycle in Age of Ultron?
Yeah, it's because of the trailers, yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's so cool. He's like, he's just got like such a cocky attitude right now. I like this. And instead he's like, for the worst joke that has happened in my years of cosplaying, Cap. So stupid.
Dude, I don't even remember what he was talking about.
He says language.
Wait, what happened?
Cap says language, and then they make fun of him, and he goes, I just kind of slipped. But in the trailer, it's cut. So he throws his motorcycle at the Hydra guys, and then he says, it just kind of slipped. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool. But instead, it's something that has just haunted me. So, yeah. Anyways.
Darn.
Folks, thanks for listening. Toby, if people want to find more content from you, where can they go?
And they should.
And they should.
If they want good content, then go read a book or something. If you want trash content, then follow me on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's Toby McQuire with a Q, fan53.
Great stuff.
And yeah, enjoy my shit posts.
You got it. They're so good.
Excellent.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're amazing. Yeah,
Next level. Yeah.
highly recommended.
And always make sure to check out the story when he does the Ask Me Shit volume, whatever it is now.
Volume 12, we're
Nice.
bringing it back around.
It's like Kids Bop. This is great.
Yeah, I started doing the volumes because it was really funny and because I really wanted to do the 1 joke,
Oh yeah.
which was 11. Not
Right,
many people
yeah.
got it
Nice.
because it's, you throw in a intellectual humor in there, no one takes it.
They just want
Throw
Fat
in
Thor. They just want Fat
Yeah,
Thor.
they just want the Hulk going to the poop debate jokes. They want that.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
But yeah. But speaking of shit posting, let's talk about your video, huh?
Oh.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
Oh man, turning the
Yeah.
spotlight on you. I like it.
Plug the video, man. Yeah.
Yeah. So Marvel Talk has a video that we did. That is you should go watch. It's fun. It's it's a parody video, music video, and how about Toby? Why don't you tell us what you think about it? I want to hear from your perspective because I've been like entrenched in this thing for weeks, just like staring at clips and all this stuff and
Well, remember, no spoilers. No spoilers.
oh, we're not saying what it is.
I feel like we shouldn't.
Okay, yeah,
Don't
I like
spoil
that.
don't spoil the congratulations video.
Yeah, don't spoil
Yeah.
it.
Don't spoil
Yeah.
the meme. Hashtag don't spoil the meme.
Don't spoil the meme. I like that. But yeah, I feel like I've got such a different view on it. It's hard for me to see it outside of like looking at every detail, and I think to some extent you fellas as well. So Toby, from a totally outside perspective, because you didn't know we were doing this or anything, and then we were just like, oh, here's this. So
Yeah, when I watched it, I was like, okay, this makes sense why you're doing this.
yeah,
And then when I started watching it, I was like, okay, this is pretty. It's not cringy, but it's kind of like, okay, this is really odd, but really fun to watch. And then it kept going, and then there was a point where I was like, okay, that was a pretty good video. And then it kept going, and I was like, oh, there's more. How long is this? And then I was like, wow, this honestly, I liked how it was like. There was obviously some quality into it, but there was some moments where it's like there's moments where autotune is involved where it shouldn't be, and I felt like that was the joke.
yeah,
Ooh.
And yeah, because since I'm an editor, I noticed those things like on the dot, like when someone says something really loudly into a mic.
yeah,
Like I noticed that instantly. That whole bit with with a certain person whose vocals didn't match up.
yeah.
I was like, wait a minute. That's not really. This
Nice.
person isn't saying anything. It's this person.
Yeah.
And then obviously the memes within the memes. Like, I had way more memes and Easter eggs that I watched it 4 times, mind
Oh
you.
wow! Thank you. Wow! Oh my gosh!
I just
Whoa.
had to. I watched it more times than the actual video that it's parodying.
Nice.
Oh, that's
Wow,
great.
Thank you.
Wow.
Because
I'm not
the
gonna lie.
memes.
The parody song is now stuck in my head more than the original song is. So
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And obviously the stinger, the Marvel stinger at the end of the song also makes the entire video amazing.
Good.
Excellent.
That's a Marvel Talk like inside meme. That's an internal meme that we have there.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that to share it with everyone else now.
It was great, which is why I wasn't gonna share it in my story, but then I was like, I have to. These fellas need recognition.
That's high praise.
See,
It is.
Yeah,
I mean,
Thank you.
I do shit posting like sitting in the comfort of my own home, in my stone chair, in my Microsoft
Yeah.
XP computer. But you
Yeah,
guys,
so your Iron Throne over there is that
my Iron Throne. Yeah, it's just an old bar stool from 2002. But yeah, like you guys actually went out in costume and did your thing, and did things that I couldn't even imagine doing in costume because I was super shy when I was in costume. I was like, I can't imagine myself doing that. But then Just watch it. Like, just watch it.
Nice.
Just watch it.
Oh, that's great.
It's really good.
Well, Shelby, where can everybody find that video if they look for it now?
You can find it a couple of ways. Primarily on YouTube, I guess .com/VegetaX6, right? That's how you get. That's how YouTube works.
Well, how old
like
is
that.
how old's your channel though? That's the thing.
Oh, it's pretty. It's from 2006, so.
Then that's what it is.
Yeah. You can search, I think, Vegeta X6 on YouTube. You can search. Well, I guess we don't want to say the title, huh? But it'll be linked in this video. So that it'll either be linked in this
link in bio.
Yeah, linked in this track, in this podcast. Sorry. And if you're watching this video on YouTube, then it's on this channel. So, yeah. Enjoy and feel free to thumbs down. That's okay too. We appreciate thumbs.
No,
in any
please,
direction.
thumb up. We want a sequel.
Ooh.
You're talking about ideas that
Amy Pascal over here.
Yeah.
If this one reaches, I don't care. I'll do it anyway. I will personally edit your other shitpost video.
Ooh.
Oh, that would be great. Yes.
Wow.
All right. This is big. This may be a future.
Is it time to cover that iDubbbz one? Is that
what we're gonna do next?
I don't know. I'm kind of down. Like.
Okay.
Who? Maybe we should discuss this off the air.
Yeah, we'll discuss. This
Yeah. We can't spoil.
Just tease it. Yeah, just tease it.
Hashtag don't spoil the meme.
Don't spoil the meme. We'll have our big Kevin Feige presentation. I'll come out in a baseball hat and a suit. I'll announce all the memes that are coming out.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I like this a lot. Okay, well, let's close out the episode. We got some stuff to discuss. So, if you want to find more from me, Vegeta X6 on Instagram and YouTube now, check out that video. It's an experience, Connor, if we want to find more from you, where can we find you?
I am at Mjolnir's Might everywhere on the internet.
Danny, where can we find you?
You can find me at Negator7 anywhere on the internet.
And Jake, where can we find you?
I am Corruption Cosplay with K's anywhere on the internet, so take a look.
All right. And Toby McQuire fan 53 at that on Instagram.
Well, you can find me in any drugstore right in the corner, asking for change.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
But Instagram, you can find me at Toby McQuire with a Q, fan 53. And
don't forget it.
Don't forget there's a Q in there. Please, for the love of God, don't forget the Q.
You don't want to go to the other guy's
don't forget
page.
the Q.
Don't
no, the other guy's dead.
Oh, is it dead?
He didn't want to give me the name. Yeah, he didn't want to give me the name. No, it's she, I think. She didn't want to give me the name, and I was like, okay, well, I'm rolling with it.
Yeah. This is better anyways. This is great.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, on that note, thank you for listening, everyone. And as always, stay Avengers strong. Although, hey, can we get one? Toby should say it.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Am I an Avenger?
If you say the outro, you are an Avenger.
If you walk out that door and you finish this podcast, you're an Avenger.
Oh God! Oh fuck!
Whenever you're ready.
Pizza time.
Nice. All right. We cutting it?
And let's
cut
end the stream.
Cut it.
That's it. Cut it.
Boop.
Bye.